What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode number 45 of the Pylon Show. And truly, it is just a Pylon Show. We're without Artosis. He had a family meeting to attend to, so it's just I representing the lone Artosis Pylon. We'll be okay, I'm sure. We've got some wonderful people here with us, as always. Some new faces and some super old ones. ZombieGrub turned 36 this week, which is actually a huge birthday for her, so we're going to, of course, wish her a happy birthday. But before we do, let's talk about some of these fine young chaps that we have here joining us. ViBE, all the way from his cruise ship out in the South Pacific Sea. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man. It just took a few minutes to do the Pylon Show, but it's beautiful out here, man.
Yeah. No, it's always nice to have you on here, man. What have you been up to? What do you got going on these days? Just streaming a whole bunch or anything else?
A lot of streaming. I've actually had the goal over the past 15 months or so where I'm trying to save for a house, and I don't know where it's going to be. Yeah, I might move somewhere else, within the United States, but it's been a lot of streaming, just a ton. And yeah, man, we're talking 12 hours a day. Yeah. Yesterday was 15. I'm trying to do a lot of StarCraft and maybe mix in something else, branch off afterwards, late nights. But it's just streaming, man. Lots of it. What's
been some of your something else? I actually don't even know what you play.
I went through a phase of World of Warcraft, and right now it's Apex Legends. And I went through a phase of Diablo as well, when new ladder seasons come out and stuff like that, or new expansions. Okay. And yeah, mostly. And I also went through a phase of PUBG, Battle Royale games a lot is what I play on the side. Yeah, they're fun.
My roommate just got back into Diablo 3 for some reason. Is it just literally the ladder restart? Is that why people are playing it?
There's huge content patches that come out too, where it's something major changes the game. And it always comes out with there's 4 ladder resets a year. So it's always, sometimes there's a big patch, but there's always a ladder reset. So
okay,
it gets interesting.
Oh, cool. So wonderful to have you. As always, we have some other guests as well. And for the first time, making his way in front of the public, crawling out from the dungeons, it is JuggernautJason, one of my secretly favorite Terran streamers. Very funny, great player. Thanks for coming on, man. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the invite on. I mean, also it was either this or get Nidus for 4 hours, so clearly the better option.
Yeah. There'll be more time for that, as I understand it. Down to that 3 armor, I think it is, right? So just no more Nidus. They're not happening right now. Is that the case?
Well, actually, somebody actually figured out a solution to that, and that's just build 2 Nidus networks and then do both at the same time, and then you just can't kill it. Yeah.
God, that's so expensive, though, right? It's just gotta really cut into that Xur economy.
Yeah.
It does. It does, man.
Well, hey, this is the first time we've had you on here, so why don't you? I don't know if you have a TLDR about yourself, but what do you do? Where are you from? How can people know you? Where can they find you? That kind of thing.
Yeah, man. My name is JuggernautJason. If you haven't heard of me, I stream StarCraft 2 an absurd amount of time every week. My hobbies include banning people for balance whining and banning people for backseat gaming, and just happy to be here. You're
busy then, okay?
Busy man.
No more. Yeah, we'll give you a little bit of a break from the Nidus and the banning. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man.
And then a Pylon Show veteran. Happy to have you back on, ZombieGrub. What the heck have you been up to these days?
Streaming a lot of StarCraft, man.
Look at us grinders, by the way. I love this intro. What are we all up to? Everyone's streaming. Gotta stream more.
Streaming, dude.
15
Don't take
hours
days off.
a day. Yeah.
It's true. There's nothing else to do. Just waiting to get back to California.
You're playing some other stuff too, though, right? I saw you streaming. What did I see you streaming?
Yeah, I got my PS4 connected and been streaming that. It's much easier on my wrists, and it's just, a break from StarCraft. So now I'm doing Horizon Zero Dawn. I played The Last of Us, which was fantastic.
Yes.
I played Final Fantasy Tactics, which was not fantastic, and I hate that game, and I'm never going to play it again.
You played it for a while, though, right? I saw you played it for quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's a super long game, right? It's kind of difficult too. So, I think when I quit, I was at 22 hours, in game, which probably went more like 30 hours total, because I had to restart so many battles, and I got to a point where I was like, no, never again.
Yep.
I played these games not to be stressed out like StarCraft, so next game. No, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's all right.
Yeah, I think I read something like you said you got to a final boss where it's like 3 bosses in a row, but if you die on any one of them, they reset you all the way to the beginning of it or something.
It's so dumb. Okay, all right, real quick, just 60 seconds. So first, it's a boss that can literally one-shot you, so you kind of have to prepare against them. And I had to use a hack basically. I had to find something that was not supposed to work, but it does. I defeat him, basically 50-50 chance that I'm going to win that one. Then he turns into a big goat monster. That one's an okay fight. It takes hours and hours and hours finally to get through. You finally get through that, and what you're rewarded with is a fight that you literally, if you don't have the correct speed at the start of this fight, I had 8 speed. I think you like 9 or 10 or something. You actually cannot take a turn before you just die.
Oh.
The person you have to save just dies. And you just sit there going, oh.
Yeah.
So I literally can't do anything. There's like no RNG here. I was like, I'm done.
I've done this too, where I went back. I played Secret of Mana, a few of these games. It didn't have quite that experience, but it is funny to me because it reminded me that when we were kids, we would sit and get reset or do something frustrating for like 10 hours, and it would not be a problem. Or at least that was me. Like I just didn't even think. I played Turok back in the day. Like didn't think twice of it. Now as an adult, I get to the situation. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. This is so dumb. Like.
Yeah.
You'll sit there and it'll be like, yeah, you need about 3.5 hours to figure this out, and then maybe you can get through it if the RNG correctly lines up. I'm like, no, never in a million years. Anyways, you're free now. You're free now to be on the Pylon Show where you can piss and moan about other things. So thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. This will be an interesting show. We got some kind of all over the place topics. So a roadmap here real quick. It's going to be a regular show in the sense that we're going to do This Week in StarCraft. We're going to talk about some interesting things here and then end with our Q&A. Next week is the 1-year anniversary. We did not even see that coming. That's kind of crazy. I think the natural thing, and I'm just going to nip this in the butt, like a lot of people were the Patreon questions is Tasteless and Idra on the next week's episode? No, they're not. It was obviously a joke. We announced that on April Fool's. And this is just something to think about, we announced on April Fool's to confuse you because they are the guests. I don't know. At this point in time, it could be either one. So you'll just have to wait and see for a whole week before we figure out whether or not those are our guests or not. There you go. So let's get into the sponsor of the show real quick. This is the part where our guests love this the most. It's where we run through the rabble. We have a brand new sponsor of the show that we're really excited to talk about. And we've got something to show here in a second. As Cobra pulls it up. It caught Cobra off guard. Yeah.
I might be taking his attention.
Did you take his attention?
Well, people are rightly pointing out that I think my green wall is accidentally being green screened along with other people here. Something's going on.
Is that not your own background?
No, look at the black marks on the live feed.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. We're all in the Matrix, so I don't even think twice about it.
So my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Cobra, are you ready? I can't tell. See, there's all kinds of. I think I'm throwing Cobra into hard mode here. I guess we have to stall for a couple of seconds. Let me just.
Cool.
Man, my knees are sweaty now. Where's Artosis? The whole show's gone to hell. Guess the display broke in the middle of this whole thing, and then ZombieGrub's distracting him. We'll talk about the new sponsor in a second. So, as per usual, without visual aid, I guess, we want to give a shout out to AFKT. Just the usual thing. They continue to support the show. We really appreciate it. We'll give a nod at the end to Patreon and show you guys by name, but that is still the best way to support us. We do appreciate that as well. And then Matcherino, which we were going to show something. You're just going to have to take my sweet, sultry voice about this while Cobra sets up our new sponsor thing. The code this week is walking. One word, walking. Because, and this is where Dan would usually cringe, it's National Walking Day. So, or International Walking Day. I don't know. When they say national, it's presumptuous, right? We got people from all over the place. So I don't know what country we're talking about, but it's Walking Day. Get out and walk or something. If you haven't, then just put in the code. You just go to Matcherino. You look up the Pylon Show as per usual. I'm sure somebody will put it in the chat for us. You type in walking. We had some questions in the past. People were like, I tried to put in walking, and it said it doesn't work. Well, this is where I explained to you that it is capped out because as much as I would like it to be true, if we had like Chinese clone bots or like a robot or a Russian robot hack farm or something like that, where you could just literally put in the code 60 billion times, then Matcherino owes us like $6 million. They won't let that happen. So They cap it out with each code, and if you guys max it out, you fucking kicked ass. So thank you very much. We really appreciate that. But it's every week that we remind you it is free. It just supports the show, puts in some money into that prize pool. And if you ever see a matcherino for like the Banshees or any of these guys, the stuff they're doing, that's just free money that you can help contribute to their thing. And the more you interact with that, the better you help the people. And matcherino helps out StarCraft a lot, so that's really awesome. And that's it for our sponsors, except for the new one. Cobra, are you about ready? I think so. Okay, so here's our new sponsor. We've been working on this for a little while here, and it is called Fitness in the Making. It's a app that you can check out. This is a person that is involved in StarCraft and has been since the beginning. I talked to this guy back in the Gosu coaching days, if you remember that term. It's a really old pyramid scheme that I tried to run 7 or 8 years ago to great success. I was able to buy a moon base where Artosis now lives with his family. But since then, we've now tried to jumpstart other projects. And this is one of them. So this is actually a really nice fitness-oriented app that you can check out. They have professional physical experts like gym aides. And I don't want to speak on their behalf just yet, but they were looking to get people that can help you with your diet as well. It's just kind of a catch-all app where you go into this, you pay a monthly fee, various different price points, and then you can put in questions, it can track stuff, it can help you out, it can just get your butt into the gym and give you that expert advice you need to make that effective. So just check it out. They also have an Instagram with all kinds of information there, and then they have that website that Cobra is beautifully showing on the screen right now. So this is a wonderful sponsor of the show. It's somebody that backed StarCraft and is from kind of our StarCraft community. And we'll be talking about this for this episode and the next one at least. And if they want to continue partnering with us, we'll talk about it more in the future. But this is it's just a good thing. A lot of people are in need of some inspiration and help to get in the gym and maximize your time there. And this is a great way to do that and support the show while also supporting industry people, guys that came from StarCraft and are backing us up. So we'll talk more about this at the end. But let us know what you think. Check it out. Give us your feedback and give them your feedback, more importantly. But again, thank you for their sponsorship and thank you for partnering with us. And you'll see them around. We'll talk more about it. Okay, so let's roadmap here. We're going to do This Week in StarCraft, as per usual. I will not do it as well as Artosis. There will be more giggling. I'll have a tougher time keeping a straight face, but we'll get it through as fast as we can. Oh, sorry, and that's the other thing, too. We actually have 2 new shirts as well. These are freaking hilarious.
I like them.
Yes. I love the different eras where these pictures come from too. So these pictures are like submitted by the guys mostly, except for mine. But I'm to blame for that. Like whenever you see a goofy picture of me, it's because anytime someone's like, Jeff, do you have a picture of yourself? I'm like, no, just Google me. So this is what comes up. But ZombieGrub, that picture on the other shirt, that is like one of your best pictures ever. That is a good picture of everybody but Kevin, because that picture from Kevin's 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day I'll not be blonde, but not any day soon.
Well, there you go. Is it just shirts, Cobra? I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this. I thought are we doing poster as well?
Posters are planned shortly, as well as a pack of stickers that we are designing up, and those will be hopefully done in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. Okay,
cool. Thank you, Cobra. So yeah, I think that would be I think that's the kind of thing that you could probably get for your wife or husband and just put it right above the bed, just on the ceiling, kind of above where you guys sleep. I think that's the best place for that kind of thing. So just think about it. Supports the show as well. Anyways, that's the sellout portion. Let's do This Week in StarCraft real quick, and then we'll get into our topics. Okay. So first up, This Week in StarCraft. I don't know how Dan does this so well, but I will not. Banshee tournament happened again. Another one. And this one is going to be one of the topics we're going to have, because I believe you had a little bit of drama. Is that right, ZombieGrub? Is that this one?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. But the winner was found to be legitimate before the problem?
Well, no, basically there was an official winner, but before game 3 could end, we realized that it was an imposter, and thus awarded first place to the person who was losing, and then just split the second place prize money between every other finalist.
Okay. Well, we'll ask you more about that when we get to the topic. But it looks like Kyubi was then awarded the win. I've seen her name a few times, right? Towards the end of this, she's very good.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, next up. Next up, we have Ladder Heroes continuing on. Did you guys... So, a while ago, Fear Dragon talked about this being maybe the last Ladder Heroes. Is that this one right here? And do you know if Ravi was able to get that continued, or is that not it? That's not been announced yet, right?
It's definitely not. Well, I don't want to say that 100%, but it's not continued. He's made no announcement as to it being picked up again. But the thing is that he had to basically he pushed a lot of the months off. So I remember in January he was doing the November finals or something like that. So I don't know when the last one is.
Okay. Well, it's just an amazing initiation, and we always talk about Ravi's just such a great contributor to the scene. So very cool. They're still putting money in the pockets of these players. Congratulations to those players you can see on screen there. But we'll have to wait and see if more of this will continue. And if not, understandable. It's a labor of love, but also it costs money. So we'll see if more happens.
Yep.
And then next up, there we go. Alpha X continues. We have there he is, Starkiller, the man, the myth, the legend, defeating Dolan 5-2. This is just a show match series that we've been showing off here. It's very cool. It's kind of funny because for me the show matches are all over the place. It's either Starkiller versus Dolan or it's Innovation versus Sue. Both, I mean, they're all great players. I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's just one is literally a GSL final and the other one is a Pizza Pie Weekly.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. You guys can check it out there, of course, in the notes. Moving along, we have more Alpha X. Is that just another one? Yeah, that's just another one. Nice. More Alpha X. More show matches. Then we have the Alpha SCR Team League going on as well. The EU... See, this is the... So here's why this segment usually works. Dan just dry reads it, and then I make fun of everything, and then we move on. And Matt knows to do that. But now it's just me being like, this is happening. And then Matt just pauses, and then we move. Alpha, like I said, SCR Team League is going on. There's the dates for it. You can check it out. The EU Semi-Pro finals are happening here. Wait. No, it says SE2, not SCR. My bad. The second I saw Makers, I was like, that's not right. They're not in Brood War. That would be kind of weird. Check out the links there in the chat as well. And then we've got what is this called again? The BJ something? BJ Destruction Match Season 1. There you go. Pretty sick brackets, though. A lot of Koreans facing Koreans. Fantasy Innovation, Sue, Leonok. I mean, it's kind of the usual suspects. I'm looking across the names. This is your Korean scene right now, but it's really fun to watch more of those games. Good to see Bomber come back as well. Does that get you excited, JuggernautJason, that Bomber's back out there?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
We got the Master Swan Open and the Sea Duckling Open, another great community initiative that's going on. These are for a little bit lower level players. The Master Swan, I believe, is up to Masters level, if I'm not mistaken, and then Sea Duckling is kind of... I want to say it's below that. Yep, bronze to diamond. There you go. So if you're out in the community and you're looking for competition, I'm glad that we show this kind of stuff off though, because there's a lot of people that are just like, no competition. That's how I get yelled at and embarrassed and stuff like that. Get out there and do it. This doesn't matter. The finals were a Kyojin and Nemesis, guys. Okay, that could be you. That could be some of you college students out there that just haven't played. Just get out there and play. Give it a shot. You can win some money.
Yeah, it's a different feeling competing. Even if it's just for fun, it makes it more fun overall.
Absolutely, that was one of my favorite parts about the SCR tournaments is I got to compete again in Brood War as well, and just anytime you get to beat Dan, it's just a huge moment. TESPA Collegiate Series StarCraft 2 Team Brawl. This is I'm so glad this picture's back up, guys. Have you ever seen the Riddler? That's him right there. This is the guy that yells at you.
Yeah, not what I expected either at all.
Isn't that amazing? I love this because I don't know what I expect when I hear someone super BM and yells at you a whole bunch, but this is the Riddler. This is, it's a take home to your parents. Handsome young man. He's going to college. He's a good guy. Gets online, builds 1 million missile turrets, and just has some angry things to say. It's just I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, there he is, being a normal guy. Silky, the Slayer of Neeb. Disposition, no idea who that is, but I'm sure he's a great guy. So you can check out some of this competition as well. It's really cool that TESPA is still going on. That's something that started as a grassroots thing, got picked up by Blizzard, and then I think since then is once again either detached or it's just got its own life in it. It's very cool. And then there's the Collegiate Star League spring season as well. A lot of the same faces you're seeing there. In fact, all the same except for Suppy. Suppy has found a loophole in this system. He's actually a 46-year-old PhD candidate at this point in time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But he is technically still a student because he's pursuing like a neuroscience brain surgeon degree or something. So he's just always going to be in school.
I did not know this. Apparently, it's on Xenocider's channel.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
It definitely had its own channel up until basically last year, as far as I cast it. So I don't know what changed.
Someone needs to make a documentary of like what happened to EG as it splintered off, because it's the funniest story. Like Greg's a power lifter studying math in like Chicago. Xeno became a full-on professional poker player. Like not a lot of people know this. He actually like randomly was gambling, randomly played poker, discovered he's very good at it, like so many StarCraft people before him, and then just went off and made a bunch of money. Like he dropped out of school, stopped doing stuff.
Wow.
And he's just a baller. And now he's like, you know what? I still like StarCraft. He's like, so let's just come back and do some StarCraft, I guess.
That's cool. But also, I'm both extremely disappointed and also, I guess, also relieved to hear that they've changed from trying to push their brand. Kind of like a side topic, but like they kept on trying to push the CSL Twitch, even back when like Base TV did it 5 years ago. They're going to be like, you should probably use our channel. And they're like, no, I want to build this brand. 40 viewers, was like max, no matter how much we tweeted it.
Yep.
And now apparently they're I can't believe it's Xenocider's Twitch channel. I had no idea they're still doing StarCraft.
Which is kind of same problem, different place, right? Like I don't think Xenocider is the biggest channel either. Maybe I'm completely in the dark, but that's Twitch voodoo stuff. Like if you go on a known channel, you do almost any content, you're just gonna have a base of people. If you make a new account or whatever, the discoverability on Twitch is pretty tough, actually. It turns out. Well, anyways, good luck to those young people, and Suppy, who, again, 46 years old. SC2 Blazing Series Season 1. We've been talking about this on the Pylon Show each week. You can see that Keen defeated Innovation. And then, Sue defeated Keen. I read that wrong. For a second, I was like, a Terran one? What? And then Innovation was able to beat Ragnarok. So some pretty cool series there. Very close, 3-2. That's on Afrika TV, but you can check out the links in the show notes. Great competition. Rotterdam found an Italian company that was willing to pay him thousands of dollars a month so that he could commentate Goblin as he faced other mid-tier to low top GM European young men and women. And there it is. Goblin was able to defeat Skillis, who is another 17-year-old Polish player. Goblin is a 17-year-old Croatian player. There is a lot of people that have heard rumors that basically Rotterdam is amassing a children army in Europe to sustain StarCraft in the dark times after WCS inevitably collapses in on itself. So kind of keep your eye on that. Rotterdam's a good guy, but with that kind of power, we've seen what the Dutch have done in the past. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so keep your eye on these competitions. He's been streaming it on the Clash channel, which I believe is something mega confusing. 1 second, Cobra. I want to point this out because this is my favorite joke every week. One of them. Does it say the channel on there? No. Wait, just click on the Twitch. What is it? Flash_StarCraft 2. That's not that bad. Dang it. Okay, that's not that bad. Anyways, check them out.
TWO though.
No, it's just the number 2. But they have another one or something. That's where it gets weird. Anyways, I can't give them too much crap because that's pretty straightforward. And they're trying to grow their own brand. It's a great thing that they do, and it is honestly good to see these young players getting some results. This is kind of that WCS effect. This is the stuff that helps people get encouraged to practice and show better results. So all the power to them. They're great people. We also have the Sentimiento Latino. That's what it's called? Just the Sentimiento Latino? Okay. Sounds like a rom-com to me, but all right. In the final, we had Sinner beating Ryu. And that's number 49. Wow. It's been going on for a while. Oh, it's an OSC thing, of course. So, incredibly, I do want to say there was a few results that were shocking. A lot of 2-0s there, but I think more importantly, we had some 99-0s, which is... I haven't seen that kind of result in a while.
Pretty one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah, they called it out before we could get to 100, but it was sick. Congratulations to them. We also have the Olima League, and this is where it's fused into my brain. It should be for you guys as well. Second best value out there you can do on Patreon for, I think it's $5 or something like that, or maybe even less. you can get the replays from this. And you can see some pretty sick stuff like Zest beating Rogue, Zest beating Leenock, and then an all Protoss finals, in which case both players were incapable of upgrading because it took so long. The entire series finished before even one upgrade could finish, which is pretty incredible. But there was a TVT in there. And then if you're sad about Terran's, if you need some, Terran's like to cheer against Terran's. Fantasy lost to Patience there as well. So probably some pretty aggressive blinks that somehow worked out.
Yeah, I'll have you guys know, like, I've gotten quite a few proxy builds from Lima League, so definitely worth checking out.
So much Blink Stalker builds as it is fantasy proxying battle cruisers and failing.
Yep.
Did Fantasy do that?
It's a build he uses. I don't know if he did it in the Zombie League.
No. Is that where Terran's at? They're proxying battle cruisers now?
Oh, it's a fantastic build. I do it all the time on ladder. So it's great. Great.
All right. Okay, well, that is fun. Then we have Lenovo Legion StarCraft 2 Invitational. This is the Take TV thing that they were doing. It's really, really cool. Lenovo Legion's a pretty cool sponsor, actually. They were one of the people that sponsored me in the past, and they're just very generous when they get in there and do things, and they still have some love for StarCraft, so it's very cool. Raynor was able to beat Hearthstone in the grand finals, which is a good result for Raynor, because if you look at that bracket, a lot of the top Europeans, Drogo way up there. Not bad. Oh, and Thermal, by the way, 7,200 on the ladder. Raynor beat him.
7,200 right now?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's really high.
Like 62 and 15 or something like that.
I don't even know it goes up that high.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I don't know. Pretty crazy. Nice stop there, though. Make sure to check them out. Naruto is also doing something. I don't know if he kept it up, but he was doing something like 60+ days straight of StarCraft streaming on the Take TV channel. So he's a big, those guys are always big supporters of the scene. Make sure and give him some love. Moving on, we have the Pizza Pie motherfucking weekly here, season 1. Starkiller, our god, our emperor, still at 20 pizzas. I will say, though, he's been at 20 pizzas for a while now. If this was the actual only food that he was able to sustain himself with, he would have died a little while ago, because you actually need food just about every 3 or 4 days. No, it's about a week or something. Anyways, he would have starved, so he needs to win some tournaments here pretty soon. Future is only 12 pizzas behind him, too. Worth noting. Have you guys, how come I haven't seen JuggernautJason or ViBE taking these pizzas? Why haven't I seen that?
Not hungry.
I'm not very hungry. I mean, there's not much there, dude.
It's like a pizza sub.
All right, I'm not totally swayed by your guys' excuses, but we'll dive deeper here, okay? We take Pizza Pie Weekly very seriously, but as always, guys, check them out. They're awesome. They're growing. It's been very fun to watch them expand, and they are doing a fun thing. General Transmission. This is just the OSC weekly schedule. We're happy to show it off. They do a ton of awesome stuff as well. I'm not going to read off all of this, because a lot of it we already did, but I think the link is in our show notes. You can check it out. That's just something to kind of keep tabbed or your eyes on. Return of the Icy Far with Pig. He's doing Crash Course. What is this? Most hilarious and stupid all-ins. There you go, Juggernaut.
Hey.
Let's submit that. Get Pig to cast it. Oh, wow.
I got a few of those.
Wait a second. Someone can win $300?
Oh wait, there's money.
Did Pig win it? Is Pig big time now? Did I? $300 for first, $200 for second. What? That says USD. It's sponsored.
Well, I think someone was like, "I want to give money to this."
Holy shit! Don't
quote me in that.
300 USD in Australian is like 300 million Australian dollars, whatever it is, too. It's like that's a lot. You can buy one of the islands. Oh, there is the sponsor. Oma Morky. That's got to be the handle.
Yeah, that's what it is. The author of the novel Liquid Rain sponsoring it, so it's it's a little more than just here, have money.
Yeah, well, I love that Pig's doing this stuff, and that's cool that you can get partnerships like this. So check it out, guys. Hilarious and stupid all-ins. That can be anyone at any level. General Transmission, we also have the TESPA and ESPN team up to launch the Collegiate Esport Championship. Top teams from each of the 4 TESPA tournaments will be invited to attend. I mean, Suppy's got to be involved in here. I'm waiting for his name to show up. Yeah, it's just cool. It's just with ESPN, more college stuff. Very cool. Liga Guatemalteca de StarCraft 2 2019 Season 1. StarCraft is fucking everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even have a joke. This is Guatemala guys doing battle. And I'll tell you what, by the way, Sentimiento, no 99 to 0s here. So Guatemala, a little bit closer competition, maybe worth checking out. There you go. OCEC Spring 2019 WCS Challenger on April 6th. Here's some names. I love anytime, by the way, anytime like the Australian scene gets to battle, I look for the young men and women of the Australian scene because they always have funny names, but I'm not seeing any here. That's it, so we'll just move on. Michigan State Collegiate March Madness Invitational. God, there's a lot of college StarCraft. That's winner right there in the middle.
Yeah, I believe he was like right after Twitch Rivals, like the next day he went out to go do that.
Oh yeah, because he's in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
All right. Local hero. Very cool. Clemson Embassy completed the round of 4. Wait, University of Texas. No, Michigan State defeated University of Texas. There we go. Very cool. Awesome to see this stuff. All right. StarCraft is esports. A new video by Fear Dragon. Always love it when Rubby puts out content. And look at Rubby evolving as a content producer. How do you get more clicks? How do you get people to watch your videos? Put someone more famous than you as the picture.
There it is.
And people will check it out. So this is Sean Day9 plot right there. Circa 2004, I believe that is. Check it out, though. Rubby makes good stuff, and he's gone full-time StarCraft, so it's fun to see him delve into it.
It's actually a good video. It's a very wholesome message.
I like the way you say it, Zombie. It's actually all right.
Well, there's, videos that are 10 minutes long and 5 minutes of it is nothing. And there's videos that are 8 minutes long and it's actually all interesting.
Yeah, I've never made any content with empty air. That's not what I do, right? Okay, these are your parts. I'm very intrigued by this. Next one, we have StarCraft 2, Mech versus Bio, Avilo versus Up-a-Tree Zelda from Laughing Games. You know what? We make our jokes, we laugh, but this is fun. So without even reading too much into this, what I'm going to go ahead and guess this is literally Avilo saying that you can't beat Mech with Bio, and Up-a-Tree Zelda as a fellow Terran player saying you can, and they're going to do a little show match, right?
Sounds about right. That's
kind of cool. I can get behind that content. So there you go. It's on Laughing Games YouTube. We have a Freaka World from Laughing Games. You can see one of the T900 models there, Braddock, taking on these guys here, Special, Solar, and Creator. Very fun. Check out that link to watch some of this show match. It's coming up actually today. Nope, today's not the 5th. A couple days from now. Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There you go. Falcon Paladin. And here we have Alex. So this is, Alessandro tracked this down. This is a Russian StarCraft 2 tournament that's going to happen. And this is everything that you see on the screen. Alessandro is just so thorough and so good at what she does that you felt like this is something. So if you're on that Eastern European scene or somebody that doesn't mind competing there you go. Money's up for grabs. Alex does great stuff, by the way. Alex works alongside Star Ladder, and they're the ones that are going to be helping in running, the WCS Kiev stops and stuff like that. So, pretty cool. Rifkin's back tournament. So a lot of you got excited. I saw some eyes raised when you saw Rifkin's back. You were thinking kind of his backside. It's not that. It's Rifkin coming back. It's Rifkin's return tournament. So where he returned from, I do not know. ZombieGrub as his keeper. Can you actually?
Well, now I'm not going to tell you.
Yep. Shit. Okay. Canada, I assume. He just came back from Canada. Anyway, he's running a tournament. He got some money for it, and he's doing it. Cobra flipped right past that, by the way. Cobra's having nothing to do with it. It is. There's qualifiers. It's got some good players at it. Damn, that's an involved tournament. So it starts 10 a.m. I can't even read this whole thing. There it is. Just check it out. His support on Match Arena as well. It's great that he puts on more tournaments. This is really cool. Artosis in a cash grab attack on the content corner that the Pylon Show has been cornering for itself has teamed up with No Regret. Now, both these guys, I will have you know, have a lot to answer for. So No Regret still owes us a shoe to be consumed. He owes us a some kind of show that he's supposed to do with everyone in Korea where he will then eat the shoe. I don't know. It hasn't happened. And Artosis has still not finished several tournaments from the Brood War era of 1999. So both these guys are putting together a new show called In Depth, and they're going to analyze some replays together while sitting next to each other in Dan's office. It's pretty cool. All jokes aside, they do a great job. Eat your damn shoe.
I caught the end of it on the last episode they did. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Can I make a recommendation, though? One of the first comments I saw is they analyzed some Terran replays, and then everyone was really upset that they're both not Terran players. I need everyone to remind them of that forever, because if they, honestly, if they don't analyze replays that exclusively are cheesy Zergs like No Regret, or Brood War Terran players like Artosis, and it's got to be a game of StarCraft 2 cheesy Zerg versus Brood War Terran, I don't want to hear from them. So I need everyone to remind them of that in the comments and just kind of really go after them. Every broadcast needs to have only the person that plays that race analyzing that. Okay, so we had some StarCraft Brood War stuff going on here. This is Light versus Zero, some great games. That's it.
Sick, dude.
What that was.
Cool. No doubt.
It got ZombieGrub out of the scene, though, so that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
The Star God Azai League, or Azay, how do you guys say it? A-Z-A-E. How would you say that?
Azay?
Azay, yeah.
We're all American, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
You're not? Are you Canadian?
Yeah.
What?
Just the way you said yeah, I could tell you were Canadian. That's awesome. Well, I feel good then, because we all said it the same way, though. I don't... Maybe somebody in the chat can correct us, but I have no idea. Anyways, this is going on. It's going to be Queen defeated Light. And then Team Sangho over Pusan. Cool. So it's just like team matches again. Here's, I can only predict to be another picture of that. And then here we have the Bombastic Star League Season 6. That is Zero, Nyokin, and Rapid putting on some more content here with the same 6 non-Korean Brood War players doing battle to decide the ever-shifting placements of 1 through 6 for their own honor. And in this case, it was TrueTax who was able to beat Bonneth. Walt beat Dragon down there at the bottom. Very cool. Can Tank Pro League. That's Kicks there. Like that guy. He's a good person. Putting on some more content as well. Team League stuff. Check them out. Just had a Brood War episode. If you missed that, make sure and check out the VOD, the YouTube VOD on Artosis TV on YouTube. The Undermine podcast, excuse me. Podcast that's going on here as well, talking about AIs and some fun stuff there. Keep that on your radar dish, because that stuff's not going away. There'll be more of that to come, but these guys are experts on it and they talk all about it, so make sure and check them out. The AIST Season 2 AI Tournament. The AIST AI versus Human match. We had, of course, Velocorandum. Velocorandum. That's how you guys would say that?
Velocirandom.
Damn it.
Oh.
You're actually right. You're totally right. Son of a... All right. Well, Word H pulled out a win against Chobo Swaggins. There you go. That's the kind of name.
That's a good name.
Very cool. The VODs are up on YouTube. The links are in the chat. You can check out some more robots versus humans. Caster Muse Star League Season 1 from Cadenzi. Saw Cadenzi casting some Brood War alongside Artosis, too. That was really cool. Was it Artosis? Yeah, it was Artosis.
Yeah.
Very cool. More of that. Well, there's your picture. Very, very fun. I do like that. Thank you so much, by the way. There's people already memeing that, like, Artosis sometimes when he sits back in that shirt, it makes his body look gigantic. People are like, powerful Artosis. Very good memes out there. Guess we got a clip here or something?
And we had lots of CVC, so if you weren't here, that would have been really painful for me, because I would have had to just talk about, like, this build kind of beats this build.
CVC is great fun, actually. Once you understand it,
Yeah.
and you see the sort of players trying to add on 2 drones here and there,
Yeah.
and squeeze in what they can, sneak Zerglings around. There's a lot of cool stuff that can happen.
I think that this is a general rule of things in life, where people are like, I don't like that matchup. It's like, what you really mean to say is you don't understand it, because as soon as you actually get a deep understanding of basically anything, it becomes exciting. This is, as someone who is almost 36 years old now.
Don't buy that for a second, by the way.
Things and enjoys them all. I promise you, if you study ZVZ a lot, you'll actually start to really like watching it. Cadenzi, Thank you for joining me here today at the KSL. Thank you to our wonderful.
That's our boy Dan.
Thank you to everyone else who's involved and you for watching. We'll see you at KSL opening day.
Funny, he says almost 36 years old, because I think he means it's his second lap on 36. But he's. You guys agree? If you understand something, you always find interesting.
Not TVZ.
TVZ's the best. Come on.
What?
Actually,
I
Bud,
love
do you
it.
like CVZ?
No, I hate it. I've had the CVZ shoved down my throat so much over the years. I'm over that matchup so much. It made me play random. I'm tired
Jess,
of it.
I can always count on you for pessimism. Do you agree that you if you understand something, you always enjoy it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you said
Jess.
Why is it pessimistic to say yes to that though?
Well, it puts you in a bind because I think you'll just disagree with me no matter what I say. So if I say I can count on your pessimism, do you agree with this? I think it throws you for a loop because you're not sure which direction to go with it. So I'm just kind of.
I think it's true. I think that the more you understand something, it's just like the more you understand something, the more there is to talk about, right? And talking about stuff is interesting. So
yeah. I feel like if someone understood the Nutcracker like really well, and then someone's like, "You want to come see a 7-hour performance by like 7-year-old kids about the Nutcracker?" Would I be like, I'm going to find that fascinating? I don't think so. I think
there's a storyline there.
Yeah,
it's
but
good.
you would say if they invited you to the equivalent of some Brood War tournaments in Korea with prize money, you'd say like, hey, do you want to go and watch the insert play people here that I don't know anything about that are really good?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yes, please, I love that show. Oh, is that person doing that thing? Are they the Nutcracker? I think they would.
Okay. Well, let's make the whole show about it. I like this. I think that's it. No, there's more. Yes.
Oh yes.
The Dodger Coffee. Dodger Coffee Co. Pro-Am #2 with the man, the myth, the legend, M. Canning, seen here, caught off guard, sleeping in his normal situation. It's very cool, by the way. Coffee, the Dodger. It's like literally that's Dodger. You know. Amazing content producer. She's been around stuff. She's just really cool. She has a coffee company. They love StarCraft. They do stuff with StarCraft. That's just literally the line. Pretty cool. Check out the links there. I have no idea what this is about. I've heard nothing about this. Have you guys heard anything about this?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so we all got some reading to do. Each game is a handicap will be applied to M. Canning based on suggestions made from viewers through donations to the event. There you go. So it's raising some money. Very cool. Wikipedia Heroes, Appreciation, Cynical Death, and Kashim. Ever looked at Team Liquid or Wikipedia for up-to-date information and always finding scorelines and match results updated almost instantly, especially for big events like WCS and GSL, and even smaller ones like Proxy Tempest / OSC stuff, etc., etc. Ever curious about upcoming events and always able to find them on the Team Liquid calendar? Yep. All these are facilitated by quiet, volunteer hard workers such as Cynical Death and Kashim, who have been the bedrock of Team Liquid and Wikipedia's event sections for 1 million years now. I think they took a little bit of liberty with that time. We'd like to make use of this crowdfunding page and codes to show our appreciation from the StarCraft 2 community. If you guys have a minute, please take the time to use a code for free. Guys, that's at Matcherino. Listen, the Pylon Show audience, you guys are goddamn professional Matcherino code putter-inners. What is the code for this, Cobra? Let's click the link. Let's take a journey together. Oh, they're really beautiful. Tribute. You do not know the code. It does not actually say.
No, it doesn't.
I'll tell you what, you guys. You can figure out what the code is. Please consider supporting them in this beautiful endeavor. Is that it? Is that the end of our... See if we're done. Could be more. There's almost always more. But I think that's it. We'll probably get that at the end. If not, that's okay. Yes! Okay. So let's talk about our topics now. So we got a couple of... I don't know, we got some interesting ones. We're going to start off with something. So we're going to talk about the Cicada versus M. Canning ladder drama. So we just had the ladder races for WCS. Then we're going to talk about the new Twitch ability called Twitch Squad Streaming and how that may be applicable, and see if these guys who are all, you heard it, between these three guests, we have like 60 hours of daily, StarCraft streaming. These guys are crazy. See if that's something that people can use, We'll talk about the Twitch Rivals event, which I think a few of us were participating in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the WCS Winter Finals bracket thoughts. So we'll take a look at the brackets, go through that. I think there's one guest topic at least. That's going to be the Banshee drama. Just kind of see what happened there again, and then go through GSL, KSL, Patreon Q&A, and call it a show. So guys, the ladder WCS race thing happened. So for people that don't know, some people qualified for Challenger, I believe it is. Is it Challenger directly, or is it the qualifier for Challenger by just placing high in the ladder, right? By a certain amount of time?
Right to Challenger.
Right, the Challenger.
Yeah.
So very competitive. There's some funny stuff out there too. If you follow Petit Drogue on Twitter, he was memeing about, I think it was Clem needing to lose a game or something like that. Like it's very much so mostly in good spirits and fun, and a lot of great players bash each other a whole bunch to get into those spots. It's very competitive. Something happened between M. Canning and Cicada, and I'll tell you what. Normally we have Artosis go forehead deep into drama. He likes to get very Dick Tracy about it, but when he's not around, I call forth one of the best investigative journalists we have in Canada for StarCraft 2, and that is going to be JuggernautJason. So Jason, can you explain to us what happened with this M. Canning drama and Cicada?
Good intro. Cool. So, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but essentially what happened, and I'm going to start off by reading the official rule about this. And it's essentially, so when the ladder tournament starts on, and it started on the 28th, which was the Thursday, whatever name your account is that you're playing in the tournament, you have to keep that name throughout the whole event. So if you're playing under the name, like if I pick Jason, I can't change that name during the ladder qualifier, because that would essentially be like you're smurfing and people don't know who you are. And they're trying to avoid, like, I guess, barcodes and just general smurfs. But I think, so how I think the story went was, basically this guy on the ladder under the name Enza Danino kind of just showed up out of nowhere, and nobody really knew who he was. And he qualified over M. Canning, and M. Canning didn't really know who he was, and didn't really think he was part of the tournament. But apparently he was playing under that name for at least 2 weeks before then, so it was totally with the rules and I think valid. So they ended up redacting who qualified and putting M. Canning in 5th place.
Oh wow!
And that's basically the story.
Didn't like M. Canning, like, because he assumed that wasn't even a contestant, that he like started to take it more casually or something towards the last hour?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I would if I was him, but I can't speak for him in that case. This also happened because Future also qualified, and Future also tried to change his name like before it started, and they didn't respond to him because you had to like request a name change specifically. And apparently they didn't get back to him, so his name never got changed. So he's playing under the name, you can see it on screen there, Kurt Cobain. That's how he qualified. So according to the rules, Future is now that guy for the next.
He's Kurt Cobain.
That's he's the guy. That's him. But I mean, yeah, that's not.
So M. Canning did get it, and Cicada, who is playing under this name, and Cicada is Volts for other people that don't know who that is. There's quite the legacy of name changes there. He was ruled as, you're going to be number 6, you're out. We're not even eligible or whatever.
He qualified at number 4, and he kicked M. Canning down to slot number 5.
But 5 qualifies or doesn't?
Does not qualify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did not qualify.
So that's why there was drama, because it was like, who is this guy? Out of nowhere, and I didn't qualify because of it. So yeah, it was a messy situation. But it does fall in line with the rules. Like, he was apparently playing under that name for a few weeks beforehand, and you only need to start playing on that name the day the qualifier starts. So
it's weird too, because doesn't Cicada typically play like 600 ladder games? Like, doesn't the account show up with?
I think he plays a lot. Yeah, I don't know the exact number.
I'm not trying to talk shit. I just don't think he's normally a guy that's like 82 and 5 or something like that. He's player, plays a lot of games.
Yeah, plays a lot.
Well, okay. When we say drama, was it on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, or was it just?
I couldn't find a Reddit post.
I didn't find a Reddit post.
Tweets.
Yeah, it was just Twitter, and it really wasn't the biggest of deals. Like, M. Canning obviously is not going to be someone who like makes a big stink out of it, because it was all legitimate. So he just has to sit there and go like, "Shit, I guess I should have taken that guy seriously," right? Like, there's something about it.
Do you guys think they should change the rules at all, or do you think it's kind of all right the way it is right now, with allowing you to change your name, like season to season?
I think it's all right. I mean, to not let someone change your name, especially in North America, where those spots are not set in stone. Like, I feel like if you look at Europe, you don't just know the top 16, you know the top 6, and then the top 4 is where you're like, oh, okay, who gets in? But in America, I feel like it's a little more like, okay, well, who is going to get that top 4 spot? So you don't want to like.
Well, who are the top
Yeah.
4? Who
Um,
got it?
so
was-
Future and Skate is all I remember.
Yeah, Future, Silky, and Liquid TLO.
There you go.
Ah, Dario.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually playing on his like wedding night, or like
Wow.
the day after. or
Passion.
something.
Good
Wow.
passion.
Yeah, there's some amount of jokes to be made there for sure, but
Yeah.
Silky
I
and
mean, yeah, the whole
TLO.
thing's weird. It's like, are we really gonna? I mean, Future's that guy now. That's the rule. You can't change his name. So
He is Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain.
But I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of these guys, my point was like, a lot of these guys don't actually have a brand. Like, it would, if you changed it and you were like, no, you have to be this name for like 6 months, like the Showtimes and the nerd shows won't care, I guess. But
yeah, I think that's why it's weird, right? So like, if I'm putting myself in M Canning's position, I see this person who comes with this troll named Enza Danino, and I'm like, okay, who's gonna actually like be serious and try to qualify with this, and then brand themselves as that person for the next 6 months? So I mean, I understand, but yeah, it's in the rules, so.
Well, it's the NAC.
Can't really say too
That's where it
much.
would
Yeah.
happen, right? What is
Yeah.
Enzadinho? Is this a joke I'm missing?
That's an Ice Poseidon meme.
Oh
you know
my
who that
god.
is.
oh god,
Yeah.
oh god, I didn't even know that. Oh,
Yeah.
you kids!
Oh my god. Bubba, can you do me a favor? Click on the Enzadinho's Twitter too. This is one of my Volts. Just look up Volts on Twitter. Might actually have him blocked if you're doing it on my Twitter, but that's okay. This was one of my favorite moments because he yelled at me really bad one time. And then you look at his Twitter, and it's just a totally normal looking young guy. It's a young American man.
It's another Riddler moment.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, that's the thing. Like, I expect to see a monster, right? I expect to see like,
Yeah.
they're not. They're just like, hi, my name is Brady. I enjoy skateboarding. It's like they're normal people.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, Corby. It's he changed his picture to some.
I feel like, Fear Jug would be great to have on for this conversation because he literally was, I mean, I hope I'm not overstepping here, but like, the ladder heroes that he made was something that Blizzard took like in consideration, right? Like the idea or like notes off of when they started doing like, hey, maybe we should make it so that people can qualify through the ladder.
Yeah.
Yet they felt like it never really actually pushed through and did what a lot of things that Fear Dragon did. So he's even in chat right now saying like, it feels very flimsy,
Yeah.
And he's right. Like that is the problem, is that regardless if it is someone or not, I mean, the point is, even if it was some guy who didn't have other names, his name was literally just this, but he got really good in the last month and a half to 2 months. Like, you don't know to take him seriously or not. So it does make you wonder if there should be something done. I feel like the European scene doesn't get as much, like there's not an interesting story there, because again, like they are all people you recognize, all people you're taking seriously, and for the NA scene, it's not really like that, it feels.
So, I love M. Canning, and I'm not going to throw shade at him, but I always do laugh a little bit. And I'm a former pro gamer too, so I was around this attitude in this conversation. But like, whenever people don't qualify for something that's usually a ladder race, I'm thinking back to TSL, which is way back in the day, and those kind of tournaments. The bubble people who like didn't qualify, like, yeah, I stopped trying. I didn't care. I always think that's a really weird thing to say. Like, M. Canning slid into 5th spot or something like that. And he's like, I didn't take it serious because I didn't know who that was. What does that mean? Were you expecting them to lose more games?
I think it means. Sorry to cut you off, ZombieGrub.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I think it just means it's the mindset of being like, I don't want to take my chances by playing too much and falling out of it entirely. So if I just made it, I'm just going to stay there and maintain that. And I don't think this guy's going to make it because I don't know who that is. So I'm okay.
Okay, so he was 4 at the time, and then this guy surpassed him in the last couple games.
Yeah,
because he didn't
I don't
take
even
him
know how you
serious. What
would
he's saying?
confirm like who that person is. Like if you're sitting there, you're like, wait, do I need to play right now? If I play and I lose 40 points to a cheese, like that's it for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how they would confirm that person is eligible. I don't know if there's a system for that.
Yeah. Let this be my recommendation. I guess this is like the StarCraft gamble that we exist in. But like if a guy's 3 points behind you or whatever, a game behind you, and you do the like, I don't know how to take them serious, so I'm gonna give my fate to them. Whoop! boy, because like maybe they are a new player, there's some shithead, but they cheese and beat somebody and do leapfrog you, and you decided not to play anymore. Now you have no control over that. Yes, if you play another game and you lose, that sucks, but at least you control on some level your destiny, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but it's just this Fear Gun points out, like, apparently the top 4 that qualified were actually technically all top 8s, I guess is what he's trying to say. So like there were 3 people that didn't qualify that he correctly said would not qualify, even though they beat him in points. I actually don't know what exactly it was, but the point is, like,
So he means like they were like top 8 on the ladder, and there were like other accounts above them.
I think he's saying that they're top 8 and 4 people actually got in because they met all the requirements and actually weren't like some other alt account from Neeb who just got stuck in there or something.
Yeah, essentially it's like, all right, here's Parting's 3 Smurf accounts, and then everybody else that qualifies underneath. Yeah,
exactly. No, and that's and when NA is kind of like the Smurf zone, even Scarlet, the NA players don't really like bother to play there. It is something that you have to you account, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Parting literally has an account called No WCS for you, so there you go.
You know, god damn it, dude. I love that guy so much. That's
got
so
another one called
trolly.
Points Thief as well. That's my favorite.
He's Points Thief?
I didn't know that either.
I think so, yeah.
Dude, that guy always
so
leaves.
Fucking tired of that. God, on a good day, I'm like 5,500. I'm like, I'm all right. And then on a bad day, I'm 5,200 or whatever, and I still hit Parting. What the fuck? Anyways, what I said is like my opinion too. Just I actually can't see the chat right now with the way we have this thing going, so I don't know how people are responding to that. But it's just that's the fun part about this too. That's why that's actually kind of why I like ladder qualifiers. Is there is that strategy to it. There is that like you don't know. So for me, I would want to control my destiny. And in the past, when I did qualify for TSL and some of these tournaments, WDT, that was my thing. I was a 700 game grinder as well. I was not a high win percentage guy. I just played as many games as I could. But there's people on the bubble, they did the math and they're like, no. If I sit here right now, I should be okay. And then they lose it. So ultimately it's kind of fun that way, and that's why I do like it. There's a lot of people that like stayed up late and watched it, and like I said, Petite Drug was tweeting about it kind of in the final moments, trying to count down his run into there. So I do like it. It is always gonna have this weird stuff. There's always someone smurfs, there's some weird shit. We got Kurt Cobain that qualified as Future of Terror. Like,
yeah.
We could do a whole show on naming in StarCraft, by the way. We told this story before, but I'll tell it real quick again. It was BlizzCon, 2 years ago, I think it was. There's 2 different ones actually, and that's why this is so funny. Literally at one point, one of the StarCraft 2 producers came up to us and said, "Hey, so Neeb has officially petitioned to have his name changed to Neeblet. It'll be in all the graphics, and he has asked that the casters please kindly respect his request to be referred to as Neeblet for this tournament." And everything leading up into WCS finals, he was Neeb. And it was literally, it's one of those things where everyone's nodding their head, and that's weird, that's fine. But for me, it was just so fucking weird and so specific and so I had this out of body experience where I'm like, there's a guy who filled out paperwork and talked to adults about how he wanted his name to be Neeblet, which to me sounds like something that if you eat too much corn and don't have enough fiber in your diet, your shit can come out this way type of thing. I don't know what else a Neeblet is. I don't know what it's like a Pokemon, but it's like a deep Japanese background where it's like kind of inappropriate. I don't know what a Neeblet is. And so for the entire tournament, I don't know. You'll have to go back and see how consistent I was about this, but I would just constantly be like, and Neeb is going for the 2-gate opener here, and then they'd be like, yes, Neeblet is going to be opening. Yes, of course, Neeblet. Anyways, Neeb is going to be looking for a 4-stalker opening here, and Neeb's going. I just tried to throw everybody off the whole time, and Neeb's such a chill guy. He didn't say anything or anything, but
and I forget who told me this, maybe Fear Dragon, but he actually didn't even really request that. They pushed something that he actually didn't even care about.
Oh, is that the other? Is this the rabbit hole? Because the way it was told to us is that it was absolutely him, and he pushed for it.
No, because I had heard him be a little oh, I wish people would not use Neeb, or he hates the other name that people use for him. But anyways,
Yeah.
His last name. But like, yeah, he didn't even really push it. Like maybe he like offhandedly mentioned it to someone and they were like, oh, well, I want to be respectful to the pro gamer, but he didn't actually care. He wasn't like going through the VODs being like.
Well, that's what you heard. To be fair, because what I was told is that's not the case. You had to fill out paperwork, and it was not just like he farted in a bathroom, and then all of a sudden Mike Moreheim's like making laws for us. Like it was pretty official. That was why it was so ridiculous to me. But the other one, and this has been, so I've played against and with, and I've commentated Juanito since 2006 or 5, maybe. We played in Pan American Championships in Brood War. He kicked my butt in MLGs and StarCraft 2, and now I commentate him, and he's an amazing player. But that guy has changed his name
a lot.
The things that I've known him to call himself over the years are incredible. And I remember one BlizzCon, in typical Juanito fashion, he like triple pumped, I think. And Blizzard's like so accommodating and so loving that they're like, well, no, we can't. And he's like, please, I need this. This new name is my new me. They're like, we'll do what we can. He's like, never mind. It's actually this other name. They're like, what?
Yeah.
He's just that's Juanito. He's a little bit crazy, and
in like a 15 month period of time, I was on and off and back on his team like 4 times, and he changed his ID about 8 times.
Yep.
He went through like special, wind, major. I don't even know. Princess.
Brittany.
Yeah.
So many. It was a lot.
Wendy, Kitty. Yeah, it was a. Generally, if you loaded a shotgun with like names, like from a 13-year-old prepubescent girl's room or something like that, and just shot it, like that's what he named himself. Anyways, naming and pro gamers.
Yeah, actually, kind of like I wanted to bring that up again, like as a kind of a side tangent thingy. I don't know, but like obviously nothing happened with this. This wasn't actually drama. The ladder system could be improved. Probably there's never a perfect system. But to me, when I saw especially Future, and I actually love this kid, right? Like I think he's a cool kid. His stream's fun. He seems to be like just keep your head down and work hard. But why? I feel like there is a problem where these kids. Sorry, but you are a kid.
Yeah, you're young people.
And they don't take these things seriously. They don't actually seem to like care. Like or I can't think of another reason as to why they would jeopardize these things. Like, what if because they had no idea who that guy's name is, Volta's new name is, they were like, actually, sorry, we did the thing, and like, F you. Like, why not just choose your name and go with it? Especially Future, who had made his name off she's Delphi recently. Like, why did he change his name aside from I guess the only reason I can think of that was his higher MMR account. It was his alt account. So then he was like, oh shit, like I need to change. Which I guess that could make sense. But again, you're playing with fire, especially because Blizzard didn't get back to you about changing your name. So I don't understand some of these pro gamers. And again, I want to make it sound like the worst thing in the world because it's not, but it's in line with other things that happen behind the scenes that maybe the viewers don't really know about. That there's a lot of pro gamers that just seem to be kind of playing like loosey-goosey with money, potential money, with tournaments, with sponsorships, with responsibilities. And this is just another one where I was like, why not just have Future?
Oh, this is my favorite though. So the chat's like, come on, you're getting this wrong. So apparently his name change bugged out, and he messaged Blizzard a whole bunch, and it wasn't his fault. That's fine. Jess's question, which I believe we need to ask ourselves, and we've given this speech, by the way, on almost every show and platform I've been on for like 10 years. This is a joke. Pro gamers, when you do awesome stuff in the StarCraft 2 scene, if you do it on your main account, that builds your legend, that builds your reputation, that builds your stream, that builds your image. Every time you change your name because you're worried about parting, stealing more of your ladder, like he'll just do it anyways. But I don't like the smurfing thing when you're Future of Terran. You know what? Maybe what we do is have him on, which we've had him on, I thought, or maybe we haven't. But either way, I'd love to ask him because I want to put them in the hot seat. You guys don't let me forget this, because I would tell you, and it sounds like ZombieGrub agrees with this, and I think a lot of people would. The value of changing your name all the time, and even being in a situation where it bugs out, because this is like the 5th time you've ladder changed your name to Kurt Cobain or whatever the hell it is, and it's not your fault, but just don't change your name. Just ladder on that name. Have your Smurf accounts. That's fine. Those are other accounts. Change those names, I guess. But have your main account that you do your awesome stuff on, and then people are like, I'm going to go watch Future of Terran. This guy's an amazing streamer. He pump fist after he beats Special at Cheesadelphia. That's really cool. I want to get behind this guy. Who the fuck is Kurt Cobain? Isn't that the lead singer of Nirvana that died years and years ago? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I have a counter, or not a counterpoint to what you said, but like it's like another idea.
Yeah.
Because I think I know, I can understand the logic of having another account, like an alt account, where it's like, let's say you want to push as high as you can on ladder, and now you pushed one of your 2 accounts as like higher than your other one, so now you want to switch and see if you can push it higher, because now if you lose, you're not losing on the higher one. I get that logic, but what I don't understand, if you're doing this for a professional format, is why don't you just make both your accounts the same name, so you don't have to name change? Like you're still you. It doesn't have to be, I'm Kurt Cobain and I need to change that because I actually qualified now. It could just be the same thing either way. So whenever someone gets you, it's the same person either way. But you're doing it for like a professional setting, so it's something you should take more professionally, not make IDs like that, basically, if that's not what you want.
Am I also naive, or doesn't the name change like basically smurf you for 1 series against everybody? Or even less than that if they're really paying attention to you, right? Like, don't almost everybody go to SC2unmask.com or whatever, they look at alts, or they just know who they're playing like kind of a couple minutes into it?
Yeah.
Usually.
I feel like I feel like every time we talk about this, we're in this pretend world where like when a really good player changes their name to like, Flabbergast, it's like, I have no idea who that is. Anybody know who Flabbergast is? Like, I feel like everyone figures it out really quick, and it's like, oh, okay, they're on that name.
Yeah. I think you're right. Like, you should have him on that. And again, like, I'd hate to make it all about him because he really didn't do anything that much wrong, but it is the catalyst to this discussion.
Okay, so
like, have him on.
Estrella's in the chat. Estrella's a very good Protoss player.
Right.
Estrella, we don't have you on the show, but if you say you disagree, we'll keep with the conversation going. But please tell me why. Like, put it in the chat. I'm not going to yell at you. You're not in trouble. I want to know why. I legitimately do not know the arguments for why you would constantly change your name and Smurf as a young upcoming top pro. So
I think it probably boils down a lot when we were talking about that. It is actually impactful to have a Smurf where people don't recognize you, and that it's more impactful than we think. It's more than just a couple of games, and then people find you out. And
so
that
what?
was
So here's my point to that. Yeah, you just Smurfed as Future. You got people know your play style, and now they don't know who you are. So you got some ladder points off a couple of guys, right?
Well, I think what my other point was, or question, is that how far in advance are these ladder qualifiers actually announced? I'm guessing not that far because Blizzard. So you have the situation where you're playing on your alt account more because it's your current MMR and that's just when you play on, right? You're getting the best practice from it. You're not even necessarily trying to beat people. And then they're like, hey, by the way, next week, really on ideal times, you got to be on ladder. And he's like, oh shit, like this account's like 500 MMR butter. And I've only got like a week to try and boost this up, and then 2 days to actually boost it up at high pop. Like I can see that being the reason. I'm not 100% sure that is, but I still would say that it is playing still a little bit loosey-goosey with it. To be in this competition, you probably should take a little moment and be like, you know what? When are ladder qualifiers? Probably. Okay, they're probably around this time. I should probably go back to pushing my main account MMR, which I feel like isn't actually done, I guess. Like it seems like a lot of these things are like, they don't consider the future.
Ooh.
Wow. You're fired.
Because they figure like things can work out just beforehand, which they can. Like Blizzard should have gotten back to them in the ideal world, but they also can fuck up. So it's more like the point of like they're risking things when I don't think that they should be. So
okay,
Well,
I understand all these like certain circumstances around it, but it's risky.
It's just weird to me because like I was told that he tried to change the name like right before it started, but it was announced well before that. So why not change it then? Just seemed weird to wait that long. But also, I thought I've been paying close attention to the ladder. I'm pretty sure Future had an account that was like 6,100. So I don't know why he wouldn't just use that, unless his other account was just higher MMR. Then I would totally understand.
Yeah,
like you should use that account. It's closer to the qualifying. But
yeah.
So Estrella said a couple things, and I think it's interesting. So you guys let me know if you're getting bored of this, but I think it's interesting. So he said, first of all, he doesn't care about name brand thing. That's for him, and that's fine. he's not streaming, and he's also a young guy who's just very good. That's cool. My elder Jeff advice would be, even if you don't care, if you're not streaming that kind of thing, that's okay, but you're cutting off an option by inflicting harm on the potential for that to be good. And I would also say that's not applicable to Future of Terran, who is streaming, who has won a major tournament as far as the NA scene is concerned, and is someone that's signing with teams and trying to get sponsored and growing their brand. So it is actually a bigger deal for that person. If it's irrelevant to you, that's totally fine. Your name's Max Angel. You're fucking going places. His name's Future of Terran. He changed his name to Kurt Cobain. He's got to get all the help he can get. Now, the other thing here, and this is the one where a lot of pro gamers and I have disagreed, but I just cannot wrap my head around this. I got two very good players here. ViBE, former professional player. Jason, Canadian, so what can you do? But, when players tell me they smurf to practice builds so that people won't game against it, when every fucking tournament you have to go to, you're playing against the people you tried those builds against, but you have to be on your main account because you're either there or you're at WCS where they make you play on your main name. Who are you tricking? Who is like, oh, I didn't know Estrella was doing that build on ladder because he was playing on the name Uncle Fucker, and I had just no clue. But guess what they do at the LAN where the money's on the line and the competition's actually ramped up? They game the shit out of you. So you just practiced a build that you smurfed against people that weren't prepared for it, but then have some idea about it because they know it's you after the fact, to then do a build against these people with this idea that they won't be prepared for it? How does that make sense? Who are you catching off guard?
Yeah. I don't know.
This is
I'm
like
with you.
crazy zombie moment where I'm like, this is so clear to me, but everyone's like, no, that's not true. And then like the zombies start poking out of the, I don't know.
Yeah. But the only thing that would be useful for is gaining maybe a little bit of extra MMR, because
Yes.
you name change, so people really don't know it's you yet.
And if somebody says that, I will accept that as an argument. Like, because
Sure,
if you
but
are
then
smurfing to get the one up on somebody, catch them off guard, and win the ladder points, and that's what you want to give me as your reason, yeah, there's no argument against that. You probably will.
Yeah, but then if you are taking this somewhat seriously, even semi-competitive, you could make money. That's a risk that really shouldn't be taken because of the rule that you need name to be set in stone. So, yeah.
And I didn't yell because I'm mad, guys. I just yelled because I need my voice to be heard really loud.
It's comedic effect.
Anyways, someone let me know. But I think that's interesting.
Yeah, it just goes like it goes down to like TLDR. Some of these things feel too risky for people who could be making money off of this. Because again, this isn't just let's all like shit on Future. No, not at all. He's a cool guy. You know, that was a silly thing, not a big deal. It's just combined with other behind the scenes things that you hear about with pros and how they sometimes it really feels like they're just like, yeah, no, actually I'm not. I don't care. And you're like, no, I'll literally give you $100 if you show up. I'll give you $500 if you stream 4 times a month. And you're just like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, the risk just didn't seem to.
It's a story as old as time though. It's been going back since Brood War. Like that's why it's interesting to me. Is that it's always been this way. And it was harder to figure out people back then. You had to do key codes actually. You had to do hotkey signature, and there was actually people that's how they spent their entire day. They're like, that account, the Flying Butterfly 1100654, that's Jadon when he was 12. Crazy. All right, Beastie is a very smart guy in the chat. You will actually improve faster if people know it's you. Oh, you agreeing with me, Beastie? Jeez, I didn't even know that when I was okay. This guy right here. Because they will try to abuse and exploit your gameplay. People who barcode to practice just want cheap points, since you can't abuse knowing who you are playing and they don't. So that's the other part that's funny too, right? Like if you smurf and you're playing against ViBE and you know ViBE likes Hydralink, Baneling, or whatever the fuck, you're like, well, I'm gonna not feed into that, obviously. So then and anyways, that exactly, BC. We're all, Tell you what though, I will try to get Future on, or if Estrella wants to come on. And just to be clear, when I use my voice, it is comedic or animated. I'm not actually like yelling and mad or something like that. Some people get really worried when Daddy Jeff yells, but I'm not. And there's people that very strongly disagree with me, and they are young pro gamers, and they may know better than I do. So we'll try to get that conversation going, because I do think that's interesting. Or maybe everyone's like, no, I don't care, Jeff. Let's move on. Like we will with this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the M canning drama and the discussion therein. Thank you guys for participating. The next one we have is, just saw it a second ago, Cobra. Not that. Man, Zombie, what'd you do, Cobra? There it is.
Hey, he confirmed it wasn't my fault.
Twitch's new squad streaming feature. So I'm gonna just throw it to you guys first. Do you guys know what this is? Have you used it at all?
I have already.
Nice.
It's really good. We just did a show match like on Sunday. It was cast by Winter. It was me and McCanning representing America versus Top and Parting for Korea. And we did we both did a 1v1. It was like 2 sets of 1v1, and then it was a 2v2, an Archon match, and other random games. And it was a really easy way to like not only be like, hey guys, so I'm doing a show match right now in my stream, but these guys are also streaming, and instead of having to do like a multi-Twitch link, you could just have it in the squad link now. So
yeah. So what's the difference though?
Anybody who comes to your stream, it makes it to where it's like a 4-box format, like automatically. And then I believe they can like resize it to where one box is massively overpowering the rest. So if you want to watch one specifically, you can. And it makes it easier to where it's like instant advertisement for other streams connected to what you're doing right now, instead of having to like go through a secondary link. So it's just easier basically to side promo other streamers with you.
Okay.
Right.
So something that's important about this feature is that, so you have your 4 streams, right? One of them's in the big box. You got your other 3. You can see it on the stream. The only person that gets the view for this is the person in the mainstream. The other 3 are muted and they don't get the view. So you don't get ad revenue, you don't get any of that. Yes, you get the advertising for the smaller streamers, which is great. But I guess a good way to look at this is imagine like me and Jeff. Jeff has 200 viewers. I have 200 viewers, and we both stream together. So the 2 options are use the traditional multi-Twitch, which is where both streams will get both the viewers. So together, both of our streams would have 400 viewers because we're combined. So it would be 800 total. Or if you use Twitch's feature, it's just going to still be 200 each because you're not getting the extra view. So you're actually, I don't know, I wouldn't recommend using this right now because of that. I just feel like it's not really better than multi-Twitch.
I apologize for my ignorance then. Is multi-Twitch non-Twitch? Is that a different link that you use?
It's a different, it's made by, I don't know who it's made by, but it's not Twitch.
So that's why they made this. Because that's why initially it was confusing for me, is because I thought multi-Twitch was just straight up Twitch, but it's not. It's a different link or website you go to.
Yeah, I don't know much about multi-Twitch. I just, that's why I assumed Twitch did this, was because they saw so many people were using it.
So did you like it, ViBE, or do you say you have to like it because you're on Twitch?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't know that multi-Twitch actually like shared viewers like that. I actually had no idea.
Yeah, it just counts as you watching both streams. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I can see squad being cool if like ninjas like, what's up, Avilo? Let's play some StarCraft together. You know, like it's just his link associated with that bigger one, and that makes a lot of sense. But like a bunch of friends getting together, isn't it? I mean, I guess you're streaming anyways, but it doesn't feel like it's super advantageous to do squad if you're not the main one, right?
Well,
go ahead, sir.
The other thing is like earlier when I was talking about how I also like to play like BRs and stuff on the side. If you actually were to stream like a BR, it's actually really nice to see other perspectives. And if StarCraft was like more of a team-oriented game, you could like watch perspective of someone else or something like that. It's just really good at capturing multiple perspectives of what's going on. For instance, like the Archon match we had, it's cool to see what one guy's doing compared to what the other guy's doing.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know about the stats thing, so I totally think that could be improved.
Well, to be fair, I can also think of some really cool applications for this. Imagine WCS, A stream, B stream, C stream. You can have all 3 of them. We like the previous WCS, there were multiple streams, multiple games going on. Could be a really good use for it. Yeah. I just can't think of a reason why a streamer like me or ViBE would want to use that over multi-Twitch. I guess it's up to the streamer, but it just seems like more of a negative than a positive.
Thank you, Jason. I agree with that. But like let's say we did do WCS ABC streams and StarCraft is the main channel or whatever, and you know, you got Base Trade and Zombie or whatever as the B and C. When I have that on my screen, is that 4 or 3 windows with the 3 different, and I can choose which one to emphasize? I can do it that way?
You can click on it and it becomes...
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that works because you have 3 different audio feeds that are 3 different contents. So no matter what, you're not really losing viewers because you're going to have the same amount of distribution. Or if you have 2 streamers streaming together talking to each other, you only have reason to watch one of those because you only need the audio for one, and then you can have the other one in the corner with the video. So that's why I think that's different.
I think it's kind of a case of like, unfortunately, because it is about numbers, right? Like if ZombieGrub was multi-twitching with the StarCraft channel when they have 30,000 on there, would ZombieGrub would have 30,000 on her channel technically as well.
Not if you use multi-twitch, no.
Multi-twitch, no?
No. So yeah, it's just like they would have to link to it and everybody in chat would have to click it. Obviously, you're not going to have 100% conversion, but you'll have like maybe like
there's a
10,
bunch of
20%
people that
of
will
your
click
chat.
over.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of like a front page moment, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good, that's one of the best, the WCS thing. It's basically great for someone who's like #1 streamer, almighty, leader. And then 3 people who can feed off of that just by advertisement alone, right? Like not by buffing their numbers on the Twitch directory, but rather being like, hey, they're streaming with this person. Like that's so much better. Because I think one, you don't have to go to their chat to go on to find the link of multi-Twitch, which when you talk about these really big people, like people who make 10,000 viewers and above, you are getting a lot of people who just want to click something on their like right there on top of the thing, because it comes up with like they're streaming with a squad, click here to see the entire thing, right? Instead of going into multi-Twitch and typing !multi. And then also the best thing about this right now is that it works so much better on mobile. It's actually the only thing Twitch has done that's better on mobile than anything else.
Oh.
And that is a lot of people in a growing market too.
Yeah.
If Twitch ever made a good app. So those are basically the biggest reasons. But for us, I think, yeah, multi-Twitch is always going to be better.
Yeah, it still needs a lot of improvements to the Twitch version. Like you can't, to my knowledge, have multiple chats in view, which is a big thing for me if I'm watching 2 smaller streamers. I like to be in both chats. You can't resize the windows. I mean, there's a lot of things they can still do. So it's definitely going to be a while until I personally employ that, but yeah.
Well, hopefully they come around to it, because that was the biggest selling point to me. Is I love the concept of this if it can help promote, right? Like that's the coolest thing. Right now there's even kind of weird culture around like, hey, like if I tune into somebody else's stream, if my stream can hear their stream, there's people like, I might have to report you. I think you're stealing from them right now. And I'm like, no, I'm about to host them. I'm trying to help. They're like, I'm out. I didn't know you were like this. Goodbye. But with that kind of stuff. Because that's one of my favorite things in the StarCraft community. We're also good about hosting each other and kind of we're really good about promoting each other. This could be the next step of that, and it's a good segue into our next subject. I believe it is, but hopefully it gets done better. Because as it is, why would you ever? I don't know. I don't think I would ever do it.
Yeah,
other than like Vibe said, the Twitch Rivals thing, that's really really cool, and the way they used it was cool because they could dip in and out of every stream, which of course is not what the app is right now, but maybe someday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Thank you, Jason. Thank you guys for, like I said, I was pretty ignorant about that, so it was kind of interesting to dive into. Next topic is that Twitch Rivals event. So, were we all playing in it? I always do this thing, and then one person's like, no.
I was not.
That's it. Yeah. God damn it.
I watched, so.
Well, there you go. Jason, you're a man of the people. I really appreciate that. Let's. This is the second Twitch Rivals thing that happened, just to give it a kind of intro in case people didn't see what it was or what happened. It's really fun that they do this. It's a nice promotion for StarCraft. I think the viewership, without having it in front of me, was a little bit less, but still pretty good. It was like 20 to 30,000, something like that. Which, for the Rivals thing, it's not bad either, right? Like, they do the big ones, obviously, and they get way up there. But for the most part, it's about 20 to 30,000 or somewhere in that ballpark. They split us up into EU and NA, and then from there we kind of had little play groups, but it was much more of a casual atmosphere, which I'll give you my experience first. I'm not really a casual guy, but Twitch Rivals, the first one, was insanely good money. So when they were like, do you want to do Twitch Rivals again, Jeff? I was like, yes, I would like money. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
They reduced it quite a bit for the second one, so I think they realized they don't need to pay StarCraft people that much money. But I actually had a blast. It was really, really fun. The games they picked were pretty cool. Maybe I lucked out or whatever, but the group I was with was really fun. ViBE was in there, and it was really fun and chill, and it was really nice. And I think the viewers had a nice experience. So going around, I guess. Let's start with Jason. You were watching this. Did you had a good time?
Yeah, fun. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of it, but
Yeah.
I saw the versus AI games on a few streamers. I watched mostly the EU portion because that's before I streamed. But no, it seemed like an excellent idea. Why not keep doing it?
Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with the numbers. So hopefully the idea is they do continue that kind of thing. But I guess I know that I'm not going to give you a 15-minute interview about you watching Twitch Rivals event, but did you like this, or would you prefer competition? Would you rather see kind of an iteration of the first one where there's some free for all, there's some show matches, that kind of thing?
Wasn't the first one the campaign missions? Wasn't that Twitch Rivals, or was that something else?
Oh, it was
It's like a
something else.
3-part.
20.
Yeah, I think it was a different
Oh,
one.
is that SC20? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I thought that was okay. Yeah, I mean they seem to always be fun. Seems like everybody's having a good time watching. I don't really have much on it.
Okay.
Just keep doing it.
ZombieGrub, you were put into the baby shark pool, where somehow Nathanius was able to convince people that he belonged in there as well. How was that?
Does.
What? What'd you say?
I said, oh, he does.
Yeah. How was it for you? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I preferred it to the first one. I mean, obviously the money was different, but the first one was free for alls, which, I mean, it's not like that's really competitive either. So, actually, well, the first one was that was also free for alls. Yep. So free for alls, and then arcade. But yeah, I think the arcade was great. I think they did not have a strong grasp on what they were doing. Kind of like there was a lot of last minute changes. They realized that, for instance, you couldn't spectate mode like 3 of these options, so they just went to more and more of a first person view. It's always a bit of a half and half reaction from the chat, as far as I saw, like the main chat. People are like, why aren't there casters? It's so stupid. Why aren't there, observers? And other half are like, just going with the flow and having fun. I thought it was a lot more fun. And Rainer Party's amazing. People liked the direct strike an awful lot.
I did like that.
I don't understand it. I literally just I was so lucky because I never played a single game in my life, and I got teamed with Nathanius and Rifkin, who are both like pros at this basically, and we used the cheesiest little strat. So maybe I liked it because I won more money than I thought I would, but I actually thought it was just I don't know, I thought it was better than free for alls. Free for alls are kind of boring. It's like 20 minutes of nothing. When people realize how to be good at free for alls is to just go late game.
Yeah, some shout outs. Beast QT in the chat's actually the guy that designed that Beast of the Hill free for all kind of mod format, and I do agree that was a lot more fun. Very funny. Our group had us all on voice comms together, even though we were competing against each other, which made it really fun for me because I was just more interesting. Because I never win those things anyways either. I'm just bad at I'm just not as good as the guys competing anyways. But also those kind of things, I don't really have a brain for how do I kill 7 other people type of thing. And then a huge shout out to Maynard too. He had, I kid you not, 260 to 300 ping in the micro tournament. So he actually won 0 of them, but instead of, and this is what would have happened to me, I would have been actually salty and quiet and pissed off the whole time. Oh, he says he had 450. We'll give it to him. We'll say let's just call it 450. He was actually a really good spirit about the whole time, and he was a good sport. So that was really, really nice. We had the funniest. Our direct strike team was me, ViBE, and Jim Rising, who said 6 words the whole time. And none of us really knew. ViBE has a pretty good idea, and he coached us a little bit. But we were going up against the tryhard M Canning team, and they thought they were hot shit. And we just got a leg up minute 3, and we're winning for, I kid you not, the 45 minutes the whole thing lasted.
It was so we were in a Discord group together. And we all decided to tune into the mainstream, and they were highlighting your battle, and Rifkin and Nathaniel started talking oh, these guys are so bad. No, what are they doing? They're making carriers. And I'm like, what's wrong with carriers? They literally told me to just make Marines, and that's exactly what I did. So.
Yep. I mean, they're literally the guys at a other parents' kids' soccer game, and they're talking shit. But it's it's direct strike, guys. If you have a chuckle and pat yourselves on the back about being really knowledgeable at that, it's that's amazing. I can crochet boots for a kitten as well, but like I won't brag about it because that's stupid as hell. Just
I'd
kidding.
brag
There's
about
probably
that.
direct strike
Yeah,
people
that's
out there,
pretty cute.
and I
Oh,
can't
and then
crochet boots.
last point for me is
Yeah.
that micro tournament, the actual like micro tournament
Yeah.
one. First of all, everything got screwed over in that, and that was hilarious. We had to stop the game early because he accidentally clicked on the Nexus and made himself an observer, and you can't unmake himself an observer.
Oh.
And then second, they chose the wrong tournament. I don't know
Oh.
about you guys over in the pro section, but it was insanely imbalanced.
Yeah, no, it
I
was
wouldn't say
bad.
just for
Oh yeah,
players,
it's terrible.
some really
I've
bad
played
ones.
it's
that, yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And it was like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just bad. And apparently, like Fear Dragon was there telling them not to use that one because that's like micro tournament instead of micro arena or whatever. And that's just that was the biggest like, oh, you guys did not do quite enough research for this one. It
Dude,
was
yeah.
so stupid.
Lewis Kinitsky in the chat. 3 Phoenix versus I think it's 8 Mutas. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
what Zerg made this? Because I'm like, that's
Just
not
stutter
actually
step, dude.
viable. Like,
Just stutter step.
yeah, just perfectly. It's
Just
like,
what do you mean? Just
Get that
kill the
perfect
enemy
circle in
unit.
that box.
Just to win the game, dude.
oh my god. I guess yeah. If the Zerg players playing on
It
Maynard
was
ping,
Morrow made that.
yeah.
Morrow,
That's
the guy who played
Morrow?
every race throughout the
Wow.
entirety of StarCraft 2.
Dude, where
Yeah.
is that guy? Yeah.
He's
like-
got a lot of mods. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Why aren't you better than you are? Yeah. It's,
It felt very much like he expected people to micro like it was 2011 Wings of Liberty.
yes. That's what I was thinking.
So like 3 Phoenix or 8 Mutas might have actually,
Yeah.
back then. But yeah.
You could do it. ViBE, did you have a good time?
Yeah, man, it was good. I liked both. I always feel like it's really fun just to be invited to stuff like that because it's rare. I feel like for
Yeah.
the StarCraft scene. So I don't really mind the format too much. Free for all, custom game, anything like that's fun. But yeah, I don't know. Like if I had to pick one of the over the other, I think if you could take the prize pool from the first one and mix it with the second format,
Yeah.
that'd be perfect. The more casual like group just chilling out was way more fun.
Yes.
It was good. I liked them both though. They were really good.
I agree. I like I said, I'm not usually a UMS guy, but and I think that's what the purpose of that was. What's so cool is that there actually are insanely good UMS, use map settings, custom games in that StarCraft 2 game, and I had no idea about them. I know people talk about it. And I'm like one of the hype guys. I'm like, oh, you should go check them out, and then I myself don't check them out. But this made
Were you ever a custom game guy in any previous game, like Brood War or anything like that?
No, the closest I came to is I played Big Game Hunter, like every other young person. But even that, I gravitate away from pretty quick. I'm too try hard. Yeah, it was really fun. So thank you. I also want to give some shout outs to the people who helped put it on, like our very own Smix, by the way. She works at Twitch. She was one of the people, or one of the persons to contact the people that were invited to that, and she's just always looking out for the StarCraft scene, which is really great. Rubby went in and commentated, I believe, and then Twitch for putting it on.
Yeah, they're awesome. Smix, like, there's actually like a ton of things happening behind the scenes, I guess, that are benefiting StarCraft players, and not just because we're StarCraft and she has like a bias or something, but we're actually good streamers and stuff. But like Neuro becoming a Twitch ambassador, it's actually really sick. And I think just in general, we all should know that Twitch actually really likes StarCraft a lot. So there's still a lot of that passion.
Yep. Thank you for saying that. Actually, we probably should have made that a topic. We'll just tag it on right now and just say congratulations to Neuro. He's just an awesome guy. We all love him. And Twitch ambassador is a pretty big deal. It's like built-in front page time. It's got some kind of like stream training. It's just being on the good side of Twitch. And it's also acknowledging that he's a positive influence and kind of what they want to put forward as this is what a streamer looks like. So that's one of our own. That's Neuro. He's a great guy and does a lot for the everything. So that's just really cool. So congratulations to him. And thank you. All right. Let us move on to our final subject before we get into the professional coverage real quick. We have the WCS Winter Finals coming up this coming weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, EU and NA. A little bit of a different format. Cobra will need a second, I think, to pull up the bracket. But I'm going to ask you guys' thoughts on this bracket, who you think wins, who comes out. But I also want to just open it to you guys. What do you think about this format? So we had I don't know, it's not called the round of 8, but maybe it's called the round of 8, but the 8-person round robin to determine this bracket for the final 6. Did you guys like that? What do you think about that?
I think it's cool. I think things like that build like a storyline better. rather than just like a bracket. Like it's really like you can be really optimistic when you're starting the round robin. You're like, oh, I hope I do well, because it's really gonna set the pace for if I'm gonna do well in this tournament or not. Increases your odds basically. And if you lose, obviously you are at the bottom, and it sucks really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool. I think it builds a better, more interesting storyline than just a standard bracket.
Yeah, I like it's definitely more pro gamer friendly. Even though, like you said, if you do end up on the bottom, that is kind of embarrassing. But I think, I don't know. I guess it's less embarrassing, but it's also got to feel really terrible to travel to a studio or to compete this long, play one best of 5 or whatever, lose, and then just be done. That's
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit weird too. Well, here's the brackets. Zombie, you want to go first? What do you think about the NA scene? Who is gonna? You just look at the finals and say it's one of those. It's like Scarlet's already there. Scarlet versus Neve. Scarlet wins. Neve wins.
I mean, I don't know. Actually, I think that there's a strong chance for an upset to that finals, but I feel like the finals is going to be Scarlet versus Neve. I feel like Estrella, like if he's having a really good day, could actually have a breakout performance. Time has proven that he's pretty good, so can he beat Neve? No, but if he theoretically could, then maybe he could beat Scarlet. I think that's more likely. The way things are stacked up, that before beginning players have to face Neve, actually, I think that's why it's Scarlet versus Neve. If it was the other way around, I think that anyone could beat Scarlet, actually, if she had a bad day. But obviously Neve's not totally infallible, because he did lose out in a couple of challengers. So
yeah, this one I have to agree. What do you guys think? Do you see any upsets here? Any surprising result? Astray is in the chat, so now's your chance to win some points with him if you want.
My boy Big Gabe, he's winning. He's doing it. I've been watching a lot of Big Gabe, Hero Marine, and his TVZ is perfect.
Get out of here.
He's gonna destroy Sarah. First of all, Sarah 2-0. Not even a problem. Rainer, maybe 2-1.
He did,
unless it's a best of 5.
The crazy part.
Yeah, no, it's not even gonna be close. He's got it in the bag. I will put $5 on it.
Nice. 800 people though.
Oh,
more money. ViBE?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm kind of like just going off the stats here and just from previous experiences with the players on here, and I think top of the bracket is a high chance to win already. The fact that they're already there is, less games to be played, and I feel like it could be any of the top 4, or maybe like top 6. I could see like Cyril or I can't remember who was Time. I could see Cyril or Time going all the way in, but I think it's probably going to be one of the top 4.
So this is hopefully this is understandable. This is the platform to say this, but I will say I actually don't like this format at this round. So I like the interesting, different final bracket. Everything ViBE just said, and again, as a former player, and I kind of always think of the players at least second. I think of the viewers maybe first. But like, these guys are traveling to this studio. Estrella versus Cham. Cham's coming up from Mexico. If he loses to Estrella, he's literally playing that one match, and then he's done. It's just the weekends. He's not there for like a whole week. I mean, maybe he comes up a couple days earlier to get warmed up and acclimated and stuff like that. But it is actually just one and done for everybody. And that is crazy. And I believe the European players, I didn't think to ask this, are they coming to Burbank?
Yeah.
Holy
oof.
Shit.
That's going to be an oof.
So would you say they should just save like the round robin format for when they actually get there in the live portion?
Honestly, I would be okay with saying WCS winner is online.
Okay, yeah.
I think Cobra might have fallen out of his chair, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. There he is. Okay.
Well, yeah, I know that feeling though, when you qualify for something online and then you go to it and you lose in the first round and you're just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes, it's over. It sucks.
It does suck for the pro gamers, but you just said like thinking about pros second, viewers first, or vice versa. Like, even if it is for just literally an hour of screen time, having players there and any type of different production format, I don't know how different it's going to be, probably not very different, but point still stands, like, does add this credibility that seems to spike the numbers for viewers. So we are asking the pros to sacrifice 4 days of travel time, 3 days of tournaments to play to give this tournament more credibility. So
And that is exactly the right answer. I mean, that is the counterpoint, and I don't disagree with you. It is, if you do it only online, there's like a certain kind of cap for how much viewership and hype can go to that, right? And then people seem to forget about it a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And someone else points out that it's actually probably better for someone like, well, if Time was actually in San Francisco for the round robin, but still there are players in the NA bracket who would actually like to play with no ping. So it actually is probably preferable for them.
That would be interesting to poll them. It would not be a popular poll. I think Blizzard would contact me and ask that I don't ask the players that question because the result would be either good or bad, right? But it's a lose-lose for them. Yeah, Time actually invested in this. He's been in California the whole time. I think even for the 8-person bracket, he was here kicking ass. I see him on DeMuslim's stream because he's playing on the European server from California actually and destroying. He looks really good. It's really fun to watch him play. It is brutal, but you're right. It's a sacrifice for those European players. That is, Europe to California is about a 15-hour trek, all said and done. And then they're going to want to come a couple days. And that first one's a Laser versus Lambo, former brothers, best friends. My favorite, those are 2 interviews because they're 2 of my favorite people in the whole world. And they are really good friends, but they're also pretty high on themselves. So whenever your Lambo is like, oh yeah, I never cheese a Laser. Cheese them out. No, it was straightforward. But needed to be done. D-Drogo looking good as well. And then Cyril's kind of the question mark, right? Only taking 2nd place at these tournaments. Who's this Cyril? Do we even recognize him anymore?
People kept saying he was sick though. And I was wondering if that was a legitimate thing where it was like, you know, the Terran player was sick. Terran didn't play that well. Like, I don't know if it was a meme or not. Because he was sick for WSG. That much is like confirmed basically. He tweeted literally that he was super sick and was not feeling very well. And China can be a very hard place to adjust to. But then round robin was like a week after that, 8 days, 9 days, something like that. And I was like, it's possible he still has like a cough or something, but is he really still sick? I don't understand. I don't know. So we're gonna find out.
Nothing like jump starting your healthy body with 15 hours of recycled air on a European transatlantic flight. That stinks. Oh boy. Anyways, I hope it's great. It'll be really fun. It'll be exciting, if anything, but you got to feel good if you're Rainer and Scarlet. They're in the grand finals. They got 1 match to win, and they could be your Europe and American champions.
Yeah. Yeah. This whole, like, very, like, just zooming out here. And I probably shouldn't even be talking about this as someone who's literally going to cast these tournaments.
Yeah.
But very odd setup. Like I think the points made on like a previous Pylon show about Leipzig not being around anymore is totally valid. It was not that exciting of a tournament, but it's very weird because like, even bringing it back to an early conversation, like apparently these name changes actually did not have to be set by the literal beginning of the year to qualify to be set in stone for the rest of the WCSs. They actually apparently were set after winter or like, well, basically the ladder qualifier happened, right? So through winter. So even though you were already in winter as future, sorry to bring him up again, but
Kurt Cobain.
Now Kurt Cobain, it actually doesn't start until spring. It makes it very weird. And I'm all for like all the perks and benefits of having all of this stuff online and being also finish it and keeping StarCraft with a huge prize pool. Great stuff. But it makes it feel very weird. Like we don't have a finals between a European and North American. You literally can't. It's just it's a very different tournament than the rest of the regions, yet you still slap the WCS winter on it as if it was actually the same with winter, spring, summer, and fall. There we go.
And I know I should know this. I don't. I'm sorry. The winner doesn't go to BlizzCon, right?
Okay, that was another thing that we had to clarify.
Oh, I'm so glad you don't know the answer.
I think
I'm gonna wait for Ruby to say it in the chat.
Yeah,
Ruby
let's wait for Ruby to go ahead and say something.
Say it, Ruby.
I don't think they do.
Chat's saying no, but I don't trust the chat. I trust Ruby.
Because I think if you look at the prize, it doesn't say like seed in global finals. It just says the money and the points.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He doesn't know either. Well, now I don't feel so bad. Ruby does. Okay. I feel like they would have said it though. So the fact that we all don't know means it's not. That has to be the answer, right? Like,
yeah. You
don't like quietly slide someone into BlizzCon and go, yeah, they're gonna. Don't say it though. No, we would have said that. Okay. Well, there you go. that's taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. ZombieGrub will be there. I will be there. Ruby will be there. And Nathanius lives literally 3 blocks away, so he just kind of shows up, and they let him do stuff. So he will be there as well, I believe, as long as there's no Apex tournament to cast. Hey! No. Listen, if Nate listened to the show, he'd think that's funny. That's it for our topics. Thank you, guys. Let's move on to our quick ladder cover. No. One more roundtable topic. I'm assuming we won't take too long on this, but ZombieGrub, I feel bad because I think one of the only other times we did talk about the Banshee term as well, we were like, so somebody pretended to be a lady person again, and it's I guess the only reason we want to kind of ask you about this is just to be like, you want to say mean things, you can, but also like, how does this happen? Why are people doing, like, what do you want to say about this? And you don't, if you're like, I'd rather not talk about, that's okay too, but what's going on? Someone got to the finals.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of, I don't know, I was like, oh, this is maybe main topic, but yeah, I'll roll with it. The issue was, and this happened previously, well, actually, the previous thing was that someone impersonated a member of the Banshees, someone I know, and is really cool, and you can just instantly tell it wasn't her just by speaking to the person.
That's amazing.
And then they tried again to sign up for things and were found out for a number of reasons. This person who joined last Saturday was a different person. The first, like, as soon as we heard that she was very good, and that's unfortunately what actually kind of shines light on them.
Yeah.
We looked into it, and there was the image they used on the match arena wasn't reverse Googleable. So that's like, okay, fine.
That's amazing.
What?
That's amazing.
Oh,
they
sure,
literally
yeah,
found a picture where you could not reverse Google it.
Yeah, or my reverse Google Kung Fu was not very good either way. And their hotkeys didn't match up with the other fakers. So we were like, okay. I mean, and there are talks about women who are pretty high up in the ladder, not quite as high as this person was though. They just don't want to play or don't have time or something like that. So we were all a little suspicious, but you know, we couldn't find anything against them. And then during game number 3 of the finals, and they played some seriously awesome back and forth PBZs, but QB was down 0-2. QB actually talks to the person in Russian. They both admitted to being well, she was East Russian, and so was the guy apparently. And I was like, I don't know what's saying here. And then I finally read Discord, and they're saying like, yeah, so apparently, some Russian player that I can't remember right now, some Russian pro, I forget who, but it was like, hey, yeah, I can confirm that guy's on my friend list, and it's definitely a guy, and that's their account, and they changed from a barcode recently to that name, Cutie, I think is the name. So we found that out basically at the last second, and I just was like, are you a girl? And initially they said yes, and then I told them, you know, I basically just like, okay, we found out that you weren't, so I just want to know like why you did this. And like, first of all, the guy like pulled the plug on game number 3 once I was like, hey, are you a girl? Like the DC happened, and I was like,
that's
oh
amazing.
my god, it's like 13-year-old strats. Dude. And then in BattleNet, I asked him again, and after 5 minutes of silence, he said, I'm not a girl, and then logged off. I was like, you can't even face, you're such a fucking coward, Jesus.
I am so uncomfortable. That's amazing.
Yeah, so they had to do the awkward, like, okay, second place wasn't even awarded, and just put it to everyone else, and people who got knocked out by him.
What's the prize pool? Like, what's first place? I know it's pretty decent, right?
It's pretty decent because we usually max out the Matcherino, so there is a cap specifically for this type of like deterring of
not to encourage too much of it.
Yeah, exactly. If it was $1,000 every time, and I swear some of the earlier ones could have been and not put a cap on, then yeah, I'm gonna expect everyone to try. But if I think it's like 150 is the most that first place can get, which is not small chunk of change.
No, it's good.
It's not. And then yeah, second and third and fourth will also pay out. So the thing is that it so far has always come out at the last second. So one, we now know to look for you, and we have like your setup right. To check for your hotkeys, you know, if you do try again. And then 2, it just like no one has actually been able to do it. So unless QB comes out and is like, aha, I fooled you this entire 16 times, like apparently this isn't actually working. So whoever's thinking about it, you know, the best chance you got, to be honest, is to be like mediocre and get 5th through 8th and not get any points anyway. So why even do the thing? And if you're anything above that and you're actually placing, you're going to be heavily scrutinized and you're eventually going to get found out. So I don't understand why you try.
Yes. Okay. So you guys are instituting a new rule to try and stop this from happening.
Yeah. So kind of going along the rules of like, technically maybe you can't stop your email from being hacked, but you can put 1,000 steps to stop it from being hacked, right? We're going with that. So while yes, if you really wanted to try, you could do every single verification step and be admitted. We're just going to add new rules. So the one we're adding right now is just you have to be a part of the Banshees Discord, which isn't actually like combined with the Banshee tournament necessarily, but I made the tournament under the name to give it publicity. So, and it is usually the best place because as soon as you're into the Discord, basically one way that we kind of figure out that you're actually, a woman is that you're chatty and you want to have conversations,
meet people,
and you want to play StarCraft and you want to do stuff. So that's kind of the current vetting process is 1 week prior, you have to be a part of the Banshee Discord. So
okay,
we'll see if it happens again.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's an amazing event. We've talked about this a few times, but it's really surprising and cool how many female StarCraft players there are. And one of the things we've always talked about is cultivating a scene where like they can, have an identity and a community and feel safe to play and stuff. And it's always interesting when the weird mutants separate themselves from society and are like, you know what? Saturday, I'm gonna pretend to be a girl and win that tournament against lesser skilled players, and then I don't know. I don't even know what to say with that. Like, guys, do many things in your life, but please do not reverse bend it like Beckham. It's not as cool as that movie tried to make it look like it is. It's not good.
I think you're actually talking about She's the Man.
There's a bend it like Beckham. That's a girl playing on a guy's soccer team.
No, that's She's the Well,
I think it is. Google it right now. Maybe your Google foo's really bad. You don't even know about it. Or maybe Jeff's repertoire of movies where people infiltrate the other gender's sporting event.
Hold on. Film title refers to the football player David Beckham and his skill at scoring free kick. Okay, I don't care. It follows the 18-year-old daughter of, I can't say that name, in London. She's infatuated with football, but she's been forbidden to play because she's a girl. She joins the locals women's team, which makes it way to the top of the league. Nope, and that's not the one you're talking about. She's the Man is where she pretends to be
Get the fuck no! Yes. Rob even in the chat agrees with that. No. It's a girl playing in a guy's soccer league, I promise you.
What? Bend it like Beckham.
But look it up right now because I have no control of my
computer. Joins
a
local women's team, which makes its way to the top of the league. That is Bend It Like Beckham.
Son of a bitch. I remember that wrong.
She's the Man is the one with Amanda Bynes.
Oh, it's called Gender Bend It Like Beckham. No, it's not.
Like first.
Did I get it wrong? All right, fine. Mrs. Doubtfire. Done. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
I could have sworn that was... All right, I am wrong. I apologize, yeah. I watched that movie in a different mental state, I suppose. I remember that very different. Anyways, though, like the point I was trying to make, like, if someday you get hit by a car or you like fall out of your truck and die or whatever, please don't let one of the things that flash before your eyes that weekend you pretended to be somebody else steal money from. Like, just don't, okay? Like, listen, we've done weird, stupid shit. We're guys, but don't do that. Just stop. Okay, let's talk about the GSL real quick. In KSL, and then let's do a Q&A, which I'm sure will have really wholesome topics for us to end the show on. GSL happened. Did you guys watch this? There's some good games. People were saying Dark Creator was sick.
There are some good games.
Or Dark Classic, is that what I'm thinking?
I didn't watch last night's, but I saw Maru's games.
You saw Maru's games?
Yeah.
Were they as good as Hero Marine?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
We'll skip that, I guess. He did beat Deer 3-1. How do you manage to do that? It's a Protoss player.
Oh, go ahead.
I think this is the series the Deer. There was like a really weird game.
Hang on. Before you get into it, are you about to explain that Deer should have won but threw it all?
Yeah.
God.
Don't worry about it.
Where's your script? Hold it up.
He ran in with like 4 Hellions and he had 3 Phoenix and he didn't lift the Hellions and I was like, oh man.
What did he do? Like follow him or something?
Well, he like pulled the probes and lined them up. It was like the panic mistake thing that you do.
Okay.
But yeah, he shouldn't have lost that game.
Crap beat TY, but that's imbalanced, right?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
tell you why I only brought it back when he started proxy, wasn't it?
Did he actually? Oh God.
I vaguely recall. I glanced through that one. I only glanced through classic for
Rogue?
Stark, which was the most recent one.
Oh, okay.
But classic was like he wasn't quite full Protoss. He was like 80% Protoss, if you know what I mean, man. He literally proxied like 5 buildings in the middle of the map in a place where if you shift click the ling around the corners of the map, you still wouldn't see. I wanted to make that meme that's like the what the fuck, and I wanted to do it with classic.
Classic will do that, man. He'll go full Protoss on you. Dark bopped Bunny though. Any surprise there? Bunny's been playing pretty real well, but did he just have that kind of classic shutdown at the final stage of the tournament?
I didn't watch.
Nobody watched that?
I didn't see it.
I
haven't
thought he was
so much this season.
Okay, well that sets up the round of 4 match, which is what's up?
So do you know about the TY tab out thing though? The alt tab.
Oh, I did actually. I watched that. I watched that actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize what happened until I read Reddit Twitch chat. That's very unfortunate. It was quite the bad timing.
I just like Nick when he covers those kind of moments because it sounds like a news reporter hearing about some disaster for the first time. Oh, okay. I just got confirmation. He's just such a goddamn good guy. It looks like Dark vs. Classic's tonight, though. Is that correct?
Huh?
Dark Classic is tonight.
No, that's what I just talked about. It was last night.
Son of a bitch. Well, don't say the results.
You'll didn't.
Upset. No, I know. I'm the host. I have to say shit like that. Otherwise, it's just quiet.
Well, there's literally a bird squawking in the background for some of these offices.
It's me. So... Yeah, no. Don't worry. There'll be a YouTube comment about it. There's a train that went by. They're gonna ask me if I can stop the train from going by too, and I'll answer yes. That's the GSL setting up this beautiful finals. Make sure and check it out. Dan will be back over there. He's at an appointment today, so he's fine. He'll be back on the GSL cast. Then we got the KSL. Did any of you guys watch Brood War? ZombieGrub sometimes literally watches Brood War. Did you do that?
I did not.
Had we watched Brood War, we'd talk about this, but here is some players. Another big deal is that Jaedong did qualify. A lot of people were really excited about that.
Yeah.
His name on the right side there.
He lost it. Oh, I guess I did watch it. Only for a little while, though. I wanted to hear to get Cadenzi's casting. He lost a game to someone that, like, Ample or someone. Like, I didn't recognize, though. So I didn't know that was a big deal or not. I thought he was a shoo-in to qualify, and I guess I was wrong. So it's cool that he qualified.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rapid in the chat says Zero came back from the army. Don't see his. Apparently didn't come back strong enough, but did almost make it. Good effort. Thank you for your service to the South Korean army, like every other male does. This is looking to be an intense season of Brood War, you guys. It's going to be pretty sick. Very excited about all of this. And it was cool to see Cadenzi commentate. She's over there training and doing well. It's fun. Scottish Cirque player, right? She's Scottish.
Yeah, it's like the world's best StarCraft player coming from Finland. You're just like, what? Like someone from Scotland just is really into Brood War in Korea and moved to Korea to train.
Yeah, haven't had a prolific strategist in Scotland since William Wallace, actually. Which that movie came out in the early 90s. So it's been a while.
I don't know who that is.
What? Are you being serious now?
I am being serious. I don't know anything about Scotland's history.
Braveheart? You don't know the movie
Scotland.
Braveheart?
I never watched it.
I would end the show if it weren't for the fact that if I skip the Q&A period, I'll literally have 30 angry emails, but I would end it right now. Cannot believe that. Don't know who William Wallace is, and you call yourself an Irish person. That's
to be honest, I can barely remember that movie myself.
Are you guys serious?
I watched that when I was like 9, 10, and I remember bits and pieces. Like he fought his friend when he was a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, he clubbed him with rocks.
Speech. Yeah. He gave the motivational speech, but I can't really remember the movie that much.
Yeah.
Damn, I have to watch it again.
I don't even know where Scotland is. So
you don't know where Scotland is?
Is that? Yeah.
I think it's on the coast.
It's by the Jamaicas.
Is it? So it's in North America, according to Blizzard?
Okay. Well, everything is technically. I mean, it's the Americas, I guess. So.
Yeah.
No.
If they, yeah. Okay, that was good. Thank you guys. All right, let's get to the Q&A period, and then we'll wrap up this show with another sellout segment by yours truly. We've got some priority Patreon Q&As. This is where I remind you guys, if you do support the show and you want to ask questions, you can go to our beautiful website, https ThePylonShow.com. I'm not going to do the rest of that. Click on that button that says the Patreon Q&A. Click on the login with Patreon. Bap. Do it. Bap. Just like that. And then you can fill in all that information and you can ask questions up to 300. I don't know if we have it just yet, but soon. If you are a $50 or more supporter, I believe it is, you can actually write a small book, and I have to read the whole thing. And I'll tell you what, we've got a rich tradition on the show. It's $25 is 2,000 words. $100 is 4,000 fucking words.
It's characters, not words.
Characters, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we've yet to have anyone write a book, and it's been worthwhile. So if any of you guys want to really donate to the show and prove me wrong that more words, more characters equals better question, please consider dumping copious amounts of money on our head. Cobra, Artosis, and I are planning on taking a booze cruise this summer, and we can't do it without all your money. So please give it to us. Empty Zero Eyes asks, I love how the semifinals of GSL are best of 7 matches. Best of 5 seems like a good amount for a round of 8 matches. I'd love if we had a compromise in the round of 16, where just elimination matches are best of 5. Any thoughts on how they might improve the games, or how possible that is?
Okay.
Jason, I turn this one to you as your first.
I don't get the question. Wait, say it again.
I would gladly read this one more time for you.
Okay.
I love how the semifinals of GSL are best of 7 matches. Best of 5 seems like a good amount for a round of 8 matches. I'd love if we had a compromise in the round of 16 where just elimination matches were best of 5. Any thoughts on how they might improve the games, or how possible that is? Jason, it's your first Patreon. Listen, you're new to the show. I need you to uncover what this person's trying to get at when they say, how do we improve the games?
I think he's talking about maybe it'll oh, there you go. Yeah. Celebrations.
I don't get it.
No, I think he's talking about the matches with yeah, the level of comebacks or just series control that players can have, something like that.
I think he wants best of 5 in round of 16.
There you go, guys.
Sure,
That'd be a great idea.
I think that's all it is. I think because if you read it, and this is my favorite part, it's just I feel like this guy is just stream of conscious right. He's like, I love best of 7s. He's like, I love them. Best of 5s are cool too. What do you guys think? And we're like, yeah, dude.
When the Patreons fork over money to do this, do you have a disclaimer they're gonna make fun of them?
No, I don't make fun of them. I just read it. I'm not making fun of them. Hang on, ZombieGrub. Pump the brakes there. This person might know that I'm. Listen, we don't know how to answer your question. Any thoughts on how that might improve the games, or how possible that is? Well, here's the first thing. If your parents didn't teach you that anything is possible, then let Papa Jeff right now tell you, if you put your mind to it, a lot of elbow grease, and you have the wherewithal to believe, you can do anything. There's a movie coming out, or did come out actually, it's called Dumbo. Watch it. It's about an elephant that can fly with giant ears, and it's about the power of belief and just simply mastering that belief. Boba's trying to get into this. Let's see. I think he wants round of 16 to be best of 5, not best of 3.
Make it best of 99. We've seen lots of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
That happens at round 16. Yeah. I think so. Here's the thing. So I'll take this opportunity to answer for you, and this actually comes up later. And I was going to put my angry pants on a little bit, my serious pants. So whenever people are like, I would like best of 5s in the round of 16 or in the round of 24 or 32, all that kind of stuff. I think generally speaking, more people agree with you, but there's also, and ZombieGrub hit the nail on the head earlier when she said sometimes players have to make sacrifices for production. And the bigger the round, the more matches there are, the more coverage there is. I think everyone would be like, I just would like to see Dark play matches for 12 hours straight. That'd be nice. But production time, studio time, group size, all those things dictate sometimes that they have to play smaller, lesser amount of matches. That's not always the answer, and sometimes the answer is that they could have fit a best of 5 in, but they just had someone decide to not do that. So that is part of it. But someone later literally, and I'll get to the question in a second, but it really riled my production jimmies. Can't remember what they were talking about. And now Cobra is diving even deeper. Maybe is also just asking about the lower bracket as well. Yep, same answer. Everything I'm saying here. So sometimes we would all like more games to be played, but the studio does not dictate that. So that's the case. What is the worst/stupidest designed unit or spell in StarCraft? E.g., infestors shitting Terran eggs, Vipers managing to abduct massive units, etc.
Why is this Zerg stuff? Come on.
Because
To this guy, that's it.
Let's be
He's a
honest,
player,
ViBE.
player.
Let's be real here, okay? Let's be.
Jason, I'm still waiting for you to hit out of the park. So what's the worst spell? What's the worst designed unit or spell in StarCraft?
This is easy, and I'm going to call ViBE out on this one because ViBE abused this to me in a game we played recently where if you neuroparasite an SCV, you can just build the other race.
Yeah.
Why?
I like it.
So, like, I played versus ViBE, and you know what he does? He takes my SCV, he builds a Thor army, and he puts the Thors in a Nidus worm.
No.
And Nidus is me on 2 parts of the map at once. And I'm
Thors will go through the Nidus?
Yeah, they'll go through the Nidus.
The Nidus, like you can use any drop, any like loading mechanism in StarCraft if you build it yourself with their race. So you can do the same thing with like a Colossus and a Nidus.
Just the feeling of running through your base and just to fight a 200 Thor army and then watching it go back in a Nidus and then go to the other half of the map. It's not a good feeling.
It's like a boosted medevac.
It's not a good feeling.
I don't know if I caught ViBE on a bad day or whatever, but ViBE traditionally has always beaten me, but the last time or two I beat you. But there's times ago where ViBE was way better than me. And that moment in the game where he's trying to neuroparasite your fucking probe to do this to you is so stupidly slow and obvious because you're just like a single infestor's like wandering around, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's got like 30 broodlords and his giant army over there, and he's like, where is it? And I'm like, oh my god, you're that far ahead? Should I just get out? Okay.
You got to do the escort. You got to make sure he's safe.
Jess, what's the worst design unit or spell?
I could not tell by his examples if he meant like legitimately like game balance or just like it's dumb like lore wise. But I'm gonna go with I think one of the dumbest design units that actually made it into the game as is the Cyclone. Its literal design
it looks terrible.
A box.
It really is.
And they struggle to find a real place for it other than like here have a unit that helps you in all beginning situations.
Yeah.
It was we felt bad about the Warhound unit. Here you go.
Yeah.
ViBE. Fire back.
I'll do more of a balanced one. I think I've thought this forever too. I think the worst design is the Mule, and I think it should be a cast range that's limited. I don't think you should be able to make like 10 orbitals and drop mass mules on a new planetary expansion across the map. It's like no risk. I don't like that.
I'm going to catch everyone off guard, but this has actually been like my number one complaint about StarCraft 2 in general is there's been this plague of things that are, if they're good, they're too good. And if they're bad, they're never used because they're too bad. And they're just like, there is no middle ground for them. I think the Stormhost for a period of time fell into that category, but I really actually like where it's been for a while now. But the unit that I think has always sucked in StarCraft 2 is the Carrier. It's either been, you hit a certain number of them, and it's just stupid. Like, what fight with the Carrier is epic and awesome? Very few. It's mostly just like a very confusing, terrible battle of, like, they destroy you. Or they nerf the Carrier into the ground now, where it also feels stupid. Like, if you can kill the Interceptors, there's nothing stupider in StarCraft than just them being like, okay. Or if you can't kill the Interceptors, then you just die, and you're like, wow. Like, I agree. Terrible unit. Love you, StarCraft. Anyways, Adrian Simon Helm asks, you had to swap one body part with a sentient fruit or vegetable. Which body part and which fruit or vegetable would you choose? And whose consciousness would you put in it?
What do you mean, whose consciousness would what?
It's a pretty straightforward question, Jason.
Is it though?
Let me show you how a veteran is. This is ZombieGrub. Of course, you've thought about this before. Go ahead and take it.
Yes, I read all of the questions prior to the show.
Yeah.
There are many of them long and and super long time. I think about question.
Yep, you're thinking about right now.
If I had to, so I guess I can't say I can't do it.
No, this surgery's happening tomorrow. What do you
with
do?
a sentient fruit or vegetable. So this fruit or vegetable is actually like, okay, so I'm gonna make it. Okay, hold on.
Yes.
I'm gonna make this sentient like vegetable. The consciousness inside of it is Fear Dragon.
Of course. I expect nothing less.
And he's going to be like a peg leg. So I'm gonna replace my calf and my foot with a hold on. I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say lettuce. I think
wow.
Fear Dragon hates lettuce.
That would make actually a really decent sound as you walked.
Yeah. So, and then he'll also slowly like erode away as I walk too.
Yeah, not so slowly, I would imagine. Pretty quickly.
I just be killing Fear Dragon's consciousness.
Yes. Good answer. ViBE, you put a lot of thought into this as well, I can only imagine.
Oh god, yeah, I don't know how appropriate it's gonna be.
But it doesn't have to be.
Okay. I would hold on. I'm thinking about what exact fruit, or it has to be a vegetable or a fruit, or either.
Vegetable or fruit is the question.
Okay. I would just because I don't really mind my my physical appearance as much if I'm just going to be gaming all day.
Yeah.
I would replace my testicles with watermelons with the mindset of McCanning, because the amount of pride that man has and confidence, I would be exuding just the most manly just urges and everything, and it would just be ridiculous.
That's pretty incredible.
I would be the biggest man in America at that point.
The size of your testicles is what really makes the difference.
It's the production factory, you know. It's
yeah, I mean, you can infer from there. They say a man.
Is it?
That's what we were taught. That's what we
testosterone
learned.
would be off the charts.
Jason had conveniently allowed you to go last, so you had a lot of time to think this through. I expect a very good answer.
I'm just like hung up on the last part. What does he mean? Like the consciousness of this with somebody else?
Yeah, you got to put somebody in there. It's a sentient creature.
So
like that Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
So if I made my arm like a carrot, like that's your arm, that's somebody else's arm.
Yes. No, it's somebody else in your arm.
I understand that part actually.
Oh, then that's easy. I'll make my fingers carrots, and they'll be Maru's fingers. What do you mean?
Oh, nice.
See, that's
easy.
A good one.
Just whenever you sell.
Well, like carrots don't have like you'd be like.
You just gotta click. That's all. You gotta click the button.
They would click.
Yeah.
You'd be carrot fingers for sure.
No claw grip for you.
Maru would give some pretty bad conversation though. I think that guy is not super smart.
There'll be baby carrots.
Hey.
For clarification.
Have well, actually, you know what? Never mind.
It's okay. He doesn't watch the show either. Just try, you gotta watch the show to keep yourself safe from teasing. Great question. Thank you. I guess if I had to answer it, you know, we always poke fun at Artosis. So what I would do is I would take like I don't have this limb, but if I had a goiter, you know, like a growth, like a gigantic, fatty, fleshy growth, I would make that a cantaloupe head, and I would make it Artosis. I think he'd be an amazing sidekick. Like you guys, Dan's an actual sweetheart, by the way. Like he would adapt to the position and be like, I could make this hell, but I'm also a cantaloupe, so I can't because that's pretty easily removed. So he would actually he'd survive. He'd be super useful. Like a lesser Wikipedia on your shoulder. Chicken Man.
You don't want Tasis on your shoulder? I mean, he's really smart.
You can get both. How about that? The Archon.
ZombieGrub, if you ever have Tasis on your shoulder, you got to take a bath pretty quick. Chicken Man asks, on an average normal day, what is the best part of your day? I'm especially interested in Jason's answer. Everyone wants to know what Jason's up to on the best part of his day.
Yeah, I mean, wake up, eat breakfast, take a shower, poop, go to the gym for a little bit, play StarCraft for 9 hours, and
Jason misunderstood. That's his whole day. He wants to know the best part of your day.
The shower poop.
Do you poop in the shower? Is it in the shower and it just washes down the drain?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what if it's like a little
very Australian answer?
Use your toes.
Shove it down. Squish it with your foot.
Okay.
No.
I mean, you're gonna clean them anyways, I guess.
Well, hold up. The trick is to keep the water at a brisk, like 45 degrees Celsius, and it's usually fine. Where do you guys poop? I don't understand. You're treating it like it's a weird thing.
How are you guys outgrossing me right now? That never happens. Wow. Okay, so shower poop for Jason. ViBE.
All right.
Best part of your day.
I don't know. Just gaming, dude. I don't know. I'm addicted. I have a problem. Wow. Just gaming away.
That's a shitty answer, but thank you.
I'm sorry, dude.
That's the second shitty answer so far.
Oh my god. All right. Well, ZombieGrub, tough act to follow.
Mine's gonna be serious. At night when I get into bed, Apollo's always ready and waiting, and he jumps up and he starts purring.
The cat, you guys, simmer down, chat.
Yep, he starts purring and snuggles up while I read a book.
That is nice. Very cool. Yeah. Best part of the day for me. I do like the gym. That is a good feeling. It prolongs the day and makes you feel like you've done something productive. It's fun. It is a good question though, because it's not like I don't like, there's not other parts of the day that I don't enjoy as well, but do have to check out that shower shit. That might be.
You're missing out, dude.
Seal Punch.
That's what bidets are. They're just more expensive shower poops.
There you go.
Holy cow. Mm-hmm. All right. Next question. Problem I have with WCS. Okay. I think this is the one where I got mad. Yes. A problem I had with WCS was that they required 6+ hours / a day over the weekend to follow the whole storyline. Even in WCS Winter, it was impossible to follow all round-robin stage games live. Is it a missed opportunity not to use it offline nature and air it in more but smaller GSL-sized events? So this is the kind of question, and again, when I say mad, I'm joking. I'm just using it for dramatic flair, but like, I get it. You are, as a viewer, like, I wish there was, more digestible content this way, but please think about this from the, like, other side. You're asking for dozens of crew people, producers, Blizzard employees, casters to be flown in, players to make time, and competition to be held on more weekends or throughout the week, which would even be worse, a studio to be available for those more broadcasts, and then for the cost of that to justify the event, like WCS Winter. Does all of that line up? The answer gets narrower and narrower and narrower each time you're like, I want more. So for this kind of thing, the fact that we already had, how many weekends of WCS Winter? That was like 4 so far? 5? So far.
Yeah.
4. 5 weekends with the finals coming up for 6. Right now, okay, someone just cut up your steak into, like, they're cutting it with a golden knife with a silver fork, and they're this posh 67-year-old butler from England. Here you go, sir. And they're cutting it up, and they're just about to feed you this really small digestible chunk, and you go, I'd like it even smaller. And then he stabs the knife into the table and says, I quit, because it's impossible. That's the whole story. No. I understand that that's like something you'd like, and that'd be cool. Not feasible. Does anybody want to disagree?
Nope.
Nope. I'm not going to disagree. I think he meant online nature, and I guess he was also thinking that maybe...
Well, he says GSL events. I assumed he meant offline, but...
Smaller GSL-sized events, so I think more like one group per... instead of...
I like the way you're reading it. That makes it more possible, but still the same problem, just not the studios, right? Getting everyone there for more times.
I actually was really confused by it. He said, why missed opportunity to use offline nature? Because I guess WCS has been all offline. I just remember so many of the online parts is all.
It's a more practical thing in Korea, because everyone's
in the same city.
Basically.
If he really is asking for more offline broadcast, then yeah,
we'd have to have like
online pros, then it's still that issue.
Yeah, I mean, like the full answer is, in an ideal world, he's not wrong. That'd be great, or she. We're all in the same city. It's not that expensive. Yeah, let's chop it up into smaller segments like GSL. But Burbank, California. Even if you, so I guess I got a little bit confused by Zombie, but actually, if you read it now, he's pretty clearly talking about offline and stuff. So it's at least the production offline. The players are online, sure, but that's still a studio. That's still casters. That's still producers. That's still camera people. It's still makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. I just because so much of Round Robin was online, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, I could sense.
And you're
confusion.
right. Just like couldn't move all those online broadcasts over to offline.
Tough one. Thank you for your question. Like I said, I was joking about the mad part, but it's not possible. Martin Anderson. The Nidus network has become an essential part of Zerg gameplay. Jason, pay attention. To me, and not just Thor's, by the way. To me, it looks like part of the increase is due to a more diverse utilization that have made it viable in more situations. Do you agree? And if so, does it mean that the popularity of the Nidus will remain?
He said like it's essential. I wouldn't go with that wording.
No?
I mean, if you remove Nidus, Zergs aren't going to lose every game. Yeah.
ViBE, do you think it's essential?
No. I think it's really nice. It's really useful, but it's not required.
Yeah. Has it gotten any better at all with the armor decrease? Does it feel closer to where it should be, or is it still too strong?
I think it's
like,
good.
I think the strength of the Nidus comes from like the fact that it affects our build orders. And I don't want to go into like the balance memes too deeply because I'm a NA memer that sucks at the game, but it just feels like, I mean, I played Protoss a bit too, and I don't know if you can speak to this, Jeff, but it feels like you have to open Robo still, right? Because if you open Stargate, you still can't kill that Nidus in time. I could be wrong there, but it feels kind of similar to Terran. Like if you think that there's a layer, then it's possible they're either going Muta or Nidus, and you have to get a tank, and that affects your build order every game. So, I mean, I don't think that has gone away with the patch, but I mean, it's definitely easier to kill it in a lot of cases, and it has helped in that sense. But the build orders, it seems to be the big thing for me.
Okay, I like that. Guess you got anything to add or no?
I'm kind of waiting to see what WCS Finals looks like because I haven't seen a lot of pro games, but I never thought the problem was the armor, actually. It was for maybe a moment where, like, yeah, the all-in was really powerful because, like, literally for Zealots would be like, no, I can't kill it. But I always thought it was the mid-game where the pro was like, you know what? I'm in decent position. I'm good to go. Oh, my God, there's a Nidus from there and there and there, and all the army gets unloaded to me. Oh, my God. And I'm like, oh, poor Protoss. I do feel for you. So I think that might still be an issue. We're going to find out.
Okay, I like that.
I think the Nidus is like, it's really good for just like manipulating the map for Zerg, especially later on when you have a higher supply. And if the Nidus actually was like way too imbalanced to the fact that where it's like what you just said, like it's just everywhere, it just ruins the mid game. You can't really deal with it. You always take this position where you're behind after the Zerg does it. I wouldn't mind if Nidus actually got shifted to like Hive Tech, because even in Hive Tech, I still think Nidus is amazing. Like when you have like the whole situation where you have like the map control Zerg with like a death ball of Broodlord or something, just having the ability to like get in the back door as well adds so much more of an element to that. And I think that's when the Nidus is really good.
Backdoor, and I like it for army escapability. I thought that's always an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, that's how it's like underused, right? It's typically used to like go into the main base, but I feel like when it's late game and if it was Hive Tech, like I'm pretty good at seeing Overseers fly into my main base and drop a Nidus. But when you use it to like position your Swarm host, your army, like while I'm attacking you and to get across the map faster, yeah, it's like super good.
Yeah.
It's actually also changed ZVZ a lot because there's two builds that like look identical, but one's a Nidus and one is just speed roaches with a wall off, and it's like economical. So it's I wouldn't actually mind if it went to Hive either because it makes ZVZ mid game meta kind of stale a little bit too.
Fair enough. Good comments, guys. Alessandra asks, what is the biggest surprise you've encountered in your gaming / casting / streaming careers that you did not expect? Biggest surprises.
Biggest surprises in your streaming career that you didn't expect?
Gaming, casting, or streaming. Just something, I mean, sometimes the question like this, if you can't think of the biggest one, just think of a big surprise, I guess.
I think for me, one of the most recent ones that's happened to me that I can think of is front page Twitch. I never even thought I was going to get front page Twitch ever. And having a stream when your average is sub 1,000, you're talking like maybe 500 viewers, 400 viewers a day, and you just out of nowhere one day have like 7,000. That's not the norm. And then especially it like really sinks into when you turn the stream off and you see the stats at the end. It's like your average is 100,000 above what you normally get, and you're like, what? Oh god, oh my god, this is doesn't even feel like it really happened. What the hell happened here? That was really cool.
Jason, Zombie?
Well, I guess I can piggyback off ViBE a little bit. Like early on, especially, like to shout out to this person, DeMuslim has hosted me like quite a few times in the past. And it's just funny seeing it progress over the years. Like I remember the first time he hosted me with like 1,000 viewers, and I actually like shut down on stream. I didn't know what to do with myself. And like a few days ago, he hosted me, and I'm just like, oh my god, the Muslim, thanks, dude, and that was it. So I mean, it was that stuff. Like, it doesn't get old, but it's just funny to see it progress. Yeah. I don't know.
That's cool.
I mean, in a weird way, the biggest surprise is that I could make a career out of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest surprise. One I think of right now, though, is like, I didn't realize how many actually okay people defend terrible stuff until I started streaming a ton more. It didn't seem to happen that much when I was like not forced to pay attention to chat all the time, which I do, you know, a lot, I'll admit, but it just seems to be like more I stream personally, the more I'm like, hey dude, like that's not cool, don't do that. And he'll be like, you suck, like why are you so offended? And then someone else who I think is okay is also like, yeah, free speech. I'm like, and then I have to have this whole conversation with people that I thought were actually like totally like, you know, sane people, not to defend those people who are being kind of like not the biggest asshole, but they're being kind of assholes. I've been so bewildered by that lately. I'm really annoyed by it. So that's a big surprise.
Yeah. Biggest surprise. I don't know if I can think of a biggest surprise in my gaming career, but something I didn't expect, and I mean, this is when I won WCG 2007 or whatever for the USA. I went to that tournament just for fun. It was like my third LAN or whatever, and I did not expect to win or even do well. But met Dan and all these guys, and they're some of my best friends to this day, 20 years later, and winning just jumpstarted my whole career. It was just amazing. So it was something. It was very, very shocking and cool for me. NeosteelEnthusiast, no specific question here, but anything to say about Pult returning from service? I'd love to hear ZombieGrub and Jason's thoughts. So, ViBE, please keep your answer to yourself.
Okay.
What?
No problem.
You guys, Pult's back. Please give us your hot take.
Man, I love Pult. So it's a double-edged sword for me, right? I love Pult. Like, such a good stream. He's funny. He's insanely good, and I can't wait for him to come back. And I'm also a Terran streamer that streams at a high level with the exact same audience, and I'm like, but I mean, I've been preparing for it for a few months now, honestly, and I literally mean that. Like, I've been adjusting my stream schedule so that if Pult comes back and he's like, hey, I'm gonna stream at night every time, I'm gonna stream in the morning, so I'm ready for it.
And dodge that Pult bolt.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. How do you feel about Pult coming back, man? It's got to be a big moment for you.
I'm gonna do that controversial thing where I'm actually the opposite of hyped. I was not a big Pult fan, and when I started to become a Pult fan, I did so because I was in that CSN thing.
Yeah.
He was not that great of a teacher. He basically.
Oh, I was in that.
What?
Yeah, I was in that too, I think. Wait, are you talking about his coaching thing that he did?
Yeah, it was us versus versus Violet's team.
Oh, never mind. Ignore me. Continue.
I didn't think so. And I was like,
I forgot about that thing, dude.
Yeah, he Violet would go into all our replays and tell his Zerg players what to do and how to do it, and Pult would do the thing where he's like, okay, first you draw a figure and then you draw the rest of the fucking owl. Get good. It wasn't coaching, and I know that's a very like,
wow,
like I'm making him seem like the worst thing in the world, but it's just one of those things where I was like, like I wasn't that much of a fan of his play style, and also like personally I didn't have that much, like it wasn't the coolest guy I've ever met in StarCraft or anything like that either, so I'm not actually that hyped, guys.
So I like, one of my powers is to see people's discomfort and just to know where that happens. And Roddy is one of the most positive, beautiful souls in all of the world. I would tell you nothing else. But you guys can ask him about this on a stream or whatever. But make sure you're gonna misquote this because you're Twitch chat. I get that, but you got to do you. You got to feed your troll tendencies. But Kevin doesn't hate Pult. But he doesn't favor Pult, is what we would say. And if you ask Kevin about it, he has a very Rotterdam kind of like answer for it, and I love it because he'll be like, "Oh, mate, it was August 2013, and like he was playing against this young guy, and the young guy beat him, and Pult's like, oh, my hands hurt. I play so bad, and I don't know. Ever since then, I don't like it. I don't like him." And like that opinion only grows a couple more times. Pult crushes kids. He like winks at the audience. Like, he's too cocky. I don't like it. And then like a couple more times, like every time Polt loses, you can kind of track this. Polt always is like, yeah, no, I don't know. My heart wasn't in it. You know, I'm not here right now in the presence of mind. My hands were defeated by my soul spirit, Windstar, 5 years ago. So it's just, and he always does that. And Rotterdam always fucking remembers. So one guy that's not excited about Polt returning, unless the military changed Polt, Roddy is not on the supportive side of Polt. As for me, Polt's a great guy. Can't get enough of him. Love him. We'll have him on the Pylon Show ASAP, guys. I'll feed that for you. No problem. Hey! Lucius Flame. I know that some situations will still always cause a true draw. Units killed, no money or build ability. But why does the possibility for an artificial draw still exist in StarCraft 2? Shouldn't Terran buildings have a limit on ability to fly? Must land to gradually replenish fuel or cooldown timer? Do you guys think there should be some kind of situation where draws can never happen?
Where draws can never happen? So like the game goes on forever?
Well, he's saying an artificial draw,
Or it just ends.
Well, the game ends after 6 hours, 30 minutes, and 7 seconds.
You tested that.
Yeah,
Does it actually?
Yeah. Yep. Played a 6.5
There's a limit to the game?
He played a 6 hour and 15-minute game of Zelda.
Yeah. Me and BioIce played. I ended up in the corner with my buildings. He had 2 mineral patches, which he mined 5 minerals at a time for 4 hours while I played Zelda. And the game ended at 6.5 hours. Great time.
Wait, who was this? BioIce, you said?
BioIce, yeah.
I heard about this. I remember. I forgot that it happened. I don't hold you as accountable because I think Terran players have the right to try and push for a draw. But can we take a fucking minute to talk about BioIce with that steel jaw determination to outlast you?
Yeah, like the argument was like he was in control of when the game could have ended, and he decided to extend it, which was fine with me. I just played Zelda.
No, you get to alt tab. You're done.
I periodically turned on the stream every like couple hours, and it was like 2 hours. The creep spread's looking a little thin, but it's still over the entire map. Like 4 hours, it's a little more dense. And at 6 hours, it's like every single pixel is a creeptomer. That's how bored he was.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
it reminds me, I had this memory was gone from my brain. You just connected the synapse that literally brought this back. One time when I was a young person, I was like 12 or 13, way back in the Brood War days. I don't know why it was this way, but there was a certain kind of disconnect where if it happened, both players disconnected, but the one that got the loss was the one that accepted the disconnect first. Those fucking ladder points must have been the last resources on Earth, because I remember when this happened, I was playing somebody I knew, and I hit them up on like AOL or whatever the fuck it was, MSN, and I was like, you think I'm gonna click yes to this? I'm like, I'm going to school, and they're like, I'm doing the same thing, and there was a test of who could go the longest without playing StarCraft. And I will tell you today, I am the 2003 to 2019 champion of just being bullheaded. Like, I never accepted. I never lost those points.
Well, fun fact for you, the game that I played with BioIce, we both got a loss. We didn't draw it. We both got a loss.
That proves that was they actually said that it was patched out. There's like a patch note.
Yeah, that was like the whole thing. Yeah, we didn't know if it was going to end or not, so that's why we waited. Yeah.
Draw timer has been extended, or I forget what it was, and we're all like, wait, does it actually end? And then they proved that it hadn't been fixed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How'd you feel after that when you got that loss? I mean, you didn't do that much. You played Zelda.
Well, I still had 4 hours of Zelda left, so I was like, I wish it lasted longer because the viewers were good. But yeah, it was.
I got to get BioIce on the show. We got to get Stray on here. We got to get BioIce, Kurt Cobain. This next show is going to be loaded. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Last couple questions, real quick. Couple good whammies down here. So this one's really quick. Ambrose Pereira asks, hello, Mr. Control. Warhammer looks cool. How would you recommend a complete newbie to me? Got a good taste for Warhammer. Books, games, find a tabletop group. I tend to like lore and games. So I made a video on my YouTube channel like a year ago or two, maybe at this point. And it's basically all about getting into Warhammer 40K. It's just on my YouTube. Cobra's showing and I'll tell you what, this is how good a producer Cobra is. He actually paused it on me being like, and then he's such a good guy. He fast forwarded to me looking contemplative right there. That's very nice of him. So it's a decent video. It talks about the lore, the tabletop. everything you need to do to get into it. If that doesn't answer it, hit us up in Discord or in the Pylon Show and all that kind of stuff. I'll personally answer it. I'm always happy to help people get into 40K. It's an amazing, amazing hobby. Last question. This is from one Ravi Parikh.
Oh no.
You'll like it.
I
Can
doubt
ZombieGrub make her bed? Jason's bed looks so nice and neat, and so does Vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I was a green screen. Oh, it's the green.
No, dude, what are you talking about? I'm here. Wind's in my hair.
Yeah, he sleeps in the ocean, dude. But that's actually ZombieGrub's. That's her bed.
That is my real bed. Yeah.
I think it looks fine, Jess. That's not that bad.
Yeah, I know.
Looks good.
The mood lighting in Jason's room, though, is
Black light.
incorruptible.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go to Jason's bed with a black light.
Come on in, dude.
At a
Plenty of
diner,
room.
I've never heard that.
Plenty of room.
All right, that's it for the Q&A, guys. That was actually really nice. Thank you for everyone that chimed in. That was really fun, and thank you to you guys. So last but not least, before we let these guys go, real quick, just one final note on the people that make our show possible, of course. I want to start off with the Patreon, because we weren't able to show that at the beginning, but these are the people that directly fund and support the show, and we are just infinitely thankful for you. It's really nice always seeing some new names on this list, but it's also incredible seeing a lot of the same names. You guys have been here for a long time. We're celebrating 1 year next week, you guys, and some of you guys have been doing this the entire time. So we're floored. Just thank you. You make this possible. Really, really appreciate you guys. If you're not a Patreon supporter of the show, please do consider it. We're always looking to grow it and pay the people that make this thing possible more. And of course, we've got designs and ideas to do some other stuff in the future. And it's only possible by continued support of the show and hopefully more support. And then here is, of course, some of those people we're talking about there. They're all just amazing. Oh, what? NeosteelEnthusiast. He's one of the guys that asked a question. I hope I did not make fun of you too bad. And if I did, well, I apologize anyways. Also, you can support us on Matcherino. So Cobra will show you that right now. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you can still put this code in. The code is walking. If it doesn't let you put the code in, that's because so many of our watchers and listeners did a great job of putting the code in that it's maxed out. And that's okay. Get us next week or try again in the future. But continue to support us that way. It means a lot, and it's something that we can hopefully we can continue to be partnered with Matcherino and do wonderful things with them, and that's the idea. Real quick, AFKT, thank you to Lycan and them as well. Putting Cobra through the fire and brimstone here because we're doing this real quick. Appreciate their support. And last but not least, on the support section of our sponsors, we newly got sponsored by these wonderful people at Fitness is in the Making. Excuse me. It's an app. You can download it, put it on your phone, and then you can contact fitness professionals to help guide you on your fitness journey for low cost. And you can check it out. Just at least take a look at it. We want to emphasize physical well-being as well as comedic well-being. And that doesn't mean you just stomp out shits in your shower. Sometimes it means you hit the gym, which is also something that Jason does as well. So it might be a 1-2 punch that you can take a look at.
How about in the shower gym? The shower at the gym.
Do you work out yeah, you don't do it publicly, Jason.
Why would they do that at the gym? That's disgusting.
I was worried for a second there. I didn't want to.
What standards? Come on.
Horrified at the potential answer.
I guess it's a Colorado thing. I guess it's just a Colorado thing.
Yeah, probably.
God.
Us mountain men, we're not afraid.
I like that we've mentioned this as many times as we have. If you're not interested in checking out the app, when people sponsor us, if you could at least do us the favor of just kind of checking, clicking through their links, looking at it, seeing if it's something you could ever be interested in, or in this case, checking out their Instagram. That's all ways to support a sponsor and a partner for the show without spending money. But of course, if you do spend money, that's all the better. Make sure and let them know you did it because they are partnered with the Pylon Show. That's the best way to do that kind of thing. So thank you guys. That is it for that. So let's throw these guys away. It was a nice long show, very talkative, very funny. A lot of laughs were had. Some yelling at young people, and I don't know how many times we can use the punchline, but Jason gave us perhaps one of the most quotable moments of the show ever. That was amazing.
Which one?
Literally stomping out a shit. That's
yeah.
Shower shit.
Oh yeah, cool. No doubt.
We might be able to do a shirt deal or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
Let's start with ViBE. ViBE, thanks so much for coming on. It's great having you here. Hopefully we'll have you again. But please use this time to tell people your schedule, what you're doing, what whatever, man. Tell them stuff.
Hey guys, if you haven't heard about me, I am a StarCraft player mostly. I stream over at twitch.tv/ViBE, and I stream 6 or 7 days a week lately. My day off is supposed to be Mondays, but I don't take it half the time because I'm a dedicated streamer and I don't want time off. I want time on. I would say I probably stream about, on average, for StarCraft, about 7 to 8 hours a day. But lately I have actually been also on an Apex Legends binge, and I play that for like 5 hours after.
Very cool.
So lots of streaming.
Check them out. It's one of my late night go-tos as well. ZombieGrub, thank you so much for coming on. You've got to travel in a day or two here to head off to WCS, but where else can people catch you? What's some of your projects you're working on? What are you doing?
That's correct. I'll be going to California on Friday, and then hopefully many more times in the future. I stream on my channel, twitch.tv/ZombieGrub, 5 days a week most of the time, sometimes 6 with the Vantage Tournament on Saturdays. Mostly StarCraft with some other games mixed in, and do a lot of YouTube stuff as well. So make sure to follow me there, youtube.com/ZombieGrub. And then also, if you want to see more cats and more cats and then some more cats, you can follow me on Instagram at ZombieScrub_SC.
So she takes pictures of Apollo.
True. Apollo without any clothes on.
Oh,
that's the way you got to talk about that. That's how you get those clicks. Yeah, for sure.
Look how cute they are.
He's a cute cat. How many cats you got though?
3.
Yeah. When do you become a cat lady? Is it 4? You think?
Well, we used to have 5.
Okay.
So.
Somewhere in there, I guess.
Somewhere maybe when you have more litter boxes than you have rooms, I think is when we're crazy cat.
Okay. And Mr. JuggernautJason, or what is your Twitter again?
Princess Jiggle Jocelyn of the Jiggle Palace.
Wow, it was a treat to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on. Tell everyone about your stuff, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I'm just streaming every day. Just exactly what ViBE said. I'm addicted. I'm actually going to give a shout out to something that I'm doing next week, starting on the 12th at twitch.tv/UpATreeZelda. Some of you have heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be doing a 4-day Zelda marathon for charity. I don't know what the charity is going to be yet. Last year we did Alzheimer's. He might do the same one. It's up to Sal because it's his whole show, but that's where I'll be. We'll be playing all the Zelda games nonstop, talking about StarCraft, shower poops, balance whining, all of the good stuff. So yeah.
Very, very
Thanks
cool.
for having me on, Jeff. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, my friend. For me personally, Dan will be returning next week. It is the 1-year anniversary episode. We're trying to line up some special stuff, but as contacting some of the old relics of StarCraft is, they're a fickle group. They're a tough group to get a hold of. Husky did say no. We did ask him. No, I'm just kidding. We'd never ask him. But we will try to put together a really nice episode for you guys and celebrate the show. And just thank you guys for your continued support of it. And it seems to be something everyone likes, and it continues to grow, so that's really fun. I will be streaming maybe some more XCOM later tonight because I've become a little bit of an insomniac. And then tomorrow I'm streaming. Friday, head off to WCS. And then next week I'll be streaming all week. That's it. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everyone that makes the show possible. Cobra, you did a great job. Cobra had to deal with he deals with tech problems on the fly, by the way, guys, during the show, and handling 3 guests and a host that teases him while he's going through tough times. So it's a job of a saint. So make sure to give some love to Cobra Venom in the chat and all that, and everybody that makes the show possible. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.